What's going on? What's going on, Film Fam? Welcome to another episode of Let the Film Speak. I am one of your hosts, Chop. Here with my main man, Willie Jack. Willie Jack, how you doing this evening, big dog?
Hey man, hey, it's 7 o'clock. I'm talking about my dog, man. I'm feeling good, feeling great, man. Hey, it was a great, exciting week of football, man. I can't wait for this one.
Yes. Oh, yeah, you already know, man. A great, exciting week of football, man. Of course, me and you came away with W's this week, so I know we feeling
Yes,
a little
sir.
extra good. You know what I'm saying? While everybody else still duking it out, we was coasting into the Sunday with some W's already on the board, man. So I know my dog feeling good about that. But of course, y'all know what tonight is, man. It's the Let the Film Speak Wednesday show. Y'all know what we do on Wednesdays. We recap each and every game from this week 16 slate of games, you know, from the Sunday games to the Monday night game. Well, all the Monday games, it was 3 of them, you know. So recap of each and every one of those games, go through performance of the week. We just go through the whole nine, man. So stay tuned. We're going to get into all that. But before we do all that, we got them house rules, man. That's like, that's share, that's subscribe, and hit that notification bell. You know what I'm saying? Be one of the newest members of the Film Fam. Holler at your partners, let them know what's going on when you're in the building. And then also be in the know. Be in the know of everything me and Willie Jack got cooking. You know what I'm saying? And I guarantee you, we will not let you down. Willie Jack, we
Yes,
got
sir.
we got some announcements. And of course, as always, we're going to start them off with the standings, man. This standings this week. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Willie Jack, being you sit at the top, dog. You know what I'm saying? Let the Film Speak finally took over the weekly pick'em. You know what I'm saying? At the top,
Yes,
tied
sir.
with 12 wins was your boy Chop and your boy Willie Jack. We was tied for 12, man. We took over. You know what I'm saying? It was a Let the Film Speak takeover week this week, dog.
And you know what's crazy, bro? I uh I picked I picked my Cowboys Dolphins game wrong. I didn't change it to the Dolphins. I had changed to the Dolphins on the show. Didn't get back in the app and change it from earlier to Cowboys. And I was
Here,
pissed when I seen it too, boy.
here's the crazy part. I picked the Steelers Bengals wrong because on the show I rolled with you and I said, you know what, riding with the Steelers, man. Tyler ain't going for two, and I got the Bengals on the app. You know what I'm saying? So hey,
Yeah, see, yeah.
we could have been worse for y'all, is what we just told y'all. It could have
For
been worse
sure
for
you
y'all.
right.
You know what
For
I'm
sure
saying?
you
We
right.
spared y'all a game. All right. So that's where we're standing at in terms of the weekly pick 'em. Of course, get your picks in. We got a Thursday night game tomorrow, man. So you got to get your picks in for that. You know what I'm saying? So make sure you do that. But I also want to give a shout out, man. Big shout out to the Let the Film Speak Fantasy Football League participants, man. They came in, they saw, they conquered, and now we got the championship. The championship is this week, Willie Jack, and we got none other than Tori. Tori done knocked off Sierra, man. Sierra been in first place all year long.
Woo!
Tori done knocked her off, man. So Tori is in the championship game along with your pick, Willie Jack. Your pick was Jarrell, man. So it's Tori versus Jarrell in the
Come on,
championship
man.
game. You know what I'm saying? This week for the Fantasy Football League Championship, man. So, hey, good luck to both of y'all boys. Jarrell done. I mean, Willie Jack done voted for Jarrell already, man. So, hey, we know how Willie Jack rocking, dog. We know how
Hey,
he
yeah,
rock.
hey, and you know what? Hey, and my dog here in the chat too, man. Hey, Darrell, bro, it's good to see you, big dog. Yeah, man. Hey, I'm betting on you, big dog. Rhyme with you now. I said, you know how to get down, man. Go ahead and bring his home for the squad, man.
Hey, well, here we go, man. This is it, man. So y'all better put your GM caps on. You know what I'm saying? You need to sign whoever you need to get out the waiver wire. Do whatever you need to do, man, because this the last week. It's the only week they count, man. So you better pick them right and pick them tight. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. And, of course, the winner of that, well, we got a little something for y'all, man. So just make sure y'all go ahead and get that taken care of in terms of the Fantasy Football League Championship, man. But other than that, Woody Jack, that's pretty much all I got as far as announcements, man. Now let's go ahead and jump into some news, man. And the first bit of news we got came from Denver, man. Over in Denver, man. The Denver Broncos, Sean Payton has decided to bench Russell Wilson for the remainder of the season, even though with them still in playoff contention. Willie Jack, what's your take on this one, man? I need to know.
Yeah, and now I mean the loss they just took to the Patriots. I mean they're still in it now. Their odds. Their odds or chances dropped pretty significantly, but like I said, they are still officially they still do officially have a chance for sure. But man, I just didn't like the feel or the smell of this one, man. So I guess it makes sense, I guess, organizationally, essentially because let's say if Russell Wilson suffers some style of injury that will cause him to miss his or not pass his offseason physical, then his contract would trigger an additional $37 million in guarantees. And so I guess in an effort to save tomorrow's money, they're benching Russell Wilson. Honestly, I mean, I don't want to say without cause. I mean, because the coach will do what he's gonna do, or whatever the case. But I just don't like the feel of it because, for one, it definitely feels like, are these just two throwaway games? I mean, I know 53 guys are still gonna show up and play and do what they got to do, but I don't know, man. It's almost like they just kind of conceding these last two, or just like I said, man, they just took all the. I don't know. It just didn't make me feel good. And then also another thing about it as well, I guess, is I would imagine like this is it for Russ. Like I would imagine this is probably it for Russ. And so I know when he signed that contract in Denver, all the bread, all the money, all the picks they gave up for him. And so I guess they find a way to save an additional $37 million in guarantees to, I guess, soften the blow to go ahead and make that move. Like I said, this upcoming season. But yeah, man, I just didn't like the feel of this.
Gotcha. And I'm with you there, Willie Jack. I didn't necessarily like the feel of this, but this move definitely reeks of, all right, we knew from maybe midway through the season or before the season that we're gonna be done with Russell Wilson. Like, this is it for Russell. This is the last year. Unless he came out and went crazy or ballistic, they were gonna be done with him. They knew they wanted to be done with him. And the only thing they kept him there and kept him in the starting lineup was the money. You know what I'm saying? How much money they decided to give Russell Wilson for coming over there in the first place. So now, with this being the particular situation, it's very clear and obvious that, hey, they want to move on from him. Move on from Russell Wilson, move on to the next person. And now it looks like Jarrett Stidham is going to be the starter for the Denver Broncos moving forward. You know what I mean? So he's going to come in. He's going to start. He's going to take over the starting QB position for the remainder of the season. I mean, we'll see how this team looks with him, but I don't imagine it'll be too much different than what we I ain't gonna say too much different, but too much different in a positive way from what we've seen from Russell Wilson thus far. But yes, I'm with you, Willie Jack. This decision or this move reeks of, Russell Wilson is done after this season in Denver for sure.
Yeah, and man, I just don't like it. It also makes me think about, different circumstance for sure, but like when players have incentives and contracts, and there's been players that came out and said things like Shannon Sharp's talked about it. He's retired, but Gronk has talked about it. There's clips and things I've heard of like numerous players where, let's say if you have an incentive in your contract, okay, if I get, I need 6 catches and 40 yards this game to trigger like 2 contract bonuses, and then like you get left out of this week's game plan. You know what I'm saying? Like, or like, I know Shannon Sharp talked about one. He was do like $1 million bonus or whatever it was. He had like 7-8 catches in the first half, like 130 yards, didn't get a target in the second half. You know what I'm saying? Like, things like that happen to kind of play with these dudes' money. And that's why I said it's one thing, like those contracts that guarantee is put in there in good faith. And so now to sit him it just feels like that's the term I should have said. It feels like it was done in bad faith, man. It should be, I don't know. I just don't like how they could kind of move around and play with his money like that. But that's, like I said, it's just so one-sided, because if he wanted to sit or save himself, we saw Lamar, people question whether or not he wanted to sit or whether he was tanking or not tanking, but whether or not he was trying to put his body on the line because of, like I said, getting his money from the team and getting his contract the way he needed it, seen fit. And this is one of these instances where I'm forever going to be player side. That's why when we talked about it, Lamar, do what you got to do to get paid, because if and when the team decides or feels like they can take some of that money back or they can find a way to not pay you, they will do it without thinking twice. And so we're seeing that right now with Russell Wilson. And that's on a maybe. You know what I'm saying? That's assuming he would get, would get hurt. But yeah, that's just crazy.
Absolutely. And also on top of that, it's very similar to, like, when a lot of players or coaches say, man, it's business. And then you hear about these stories about players getting traded, and not even knowing they're getting traded until they get back home or
find out on TV.
They find out on TV, like the coaches or the owners don't even do the player justice, and let them know what's going on. They just trade them. You get rid of them, and they treat them like, sometimes treat them like they're not human, man. Like they don't have lives. Like they don't have their whole house and family in this particular area. And then boom,
my kids go to school here.
My kids in school. My kid now I gotta on the fly make all these arrangements. You know what I'm saying, to make these things happen. And yeah, it's crazy, man. And they I guess they feel like these players are getting a lot of money, so they got the money to make whatever happen. Nah, man, it ain't that easy. It ain't that sweet. Yeah. So yeah,
No, for
So,
sure. And then our dog ZB, man, he threw us a question, man. So with all signs pointing to Russell Wilson being about to hit the free agency block, you know what I'm saying, as soon as it makes sense contractually to make that cut. Man, where do you think realistically, if you had to give me one or two realistic that really real deal makes sense, a team that you think would be interested in, a team, you know what I'm saying, that you can see a logical fit happening?
it's a couple places, honestly. New coach in Atlanta. You need a piece to kind of help put this thing together. You know, you got strong run game, strong offensive line. Atlanta could be a good place. New England could be a good place. They're known for going after those old savvy veterans. New England could be a solid spot for them.
Yeah.
Those are the two that jumped off to me first. You know what I'm saying? I had to really sit down and think about some of the
No,
other
for
ones,
sure. Just on the fly.
Yeah. Jump off my head off the fly.
No, and I think Atlanta would be the one that makes sense to me, is the one I think, because I don't think they're going to be in position to draft a guy. New England, I would think maybe not, because they're going to have a top 5 pick, and so they're probably going to be able to just go ahead and get a young guy and kind of restart their page, you know, just start with a completely fresh page. So I don't know if maybe New England would, but if they wouldn't pick a top 5, that would make sense for sure. But yeah, I think Atlanta's probably the one that makes the most sense. A team that's, you know, moderately competitive, but not necessarily in the running to get a QB in this upcoming draft. So yeah, I think Atlanta makes sense.
Gotcha. What you there, Willie Jack? In other news, man, and we hate to see this too as well, man. We got tight end TJ Hockenson, man, over in Minnesota Vikings. He is now out for the season. So for the torn ACL and MCL, man. Hashtag hate to see it, man. Having a phenomenal season, man. Playing some of the best ball I've seen him play. Really flourishing in this offense with Kevin O'Connell, man. Doing a lot of great things. Went down this past week with an injury. So, like I said, he's going to be out for the season, man. And this Minnesota team, they just can't fight. They just can't get past the injury bug, man. With Justin Jefferson being in and out, you know, Cousins was already out for the season, and then now you got, you know, one of the other, you know, explosive weapons now out for the rest of the season. And now this being this late in the season, this happening this late in the season, this affects next year as well. You know, how are they able to start the season? Is he going to be able to start right away? Is he going to have to miss a few games? And then once he comes back, how long does it take him to get back to full stride? Because oftentimes we see it's not the next year, but it's the year after where players get back to full strength, man. So this is a really tough injury, man. You know, sending a lot of well wishes and speedy recovery his way. I know he's going to have surgery soon, you know, so hoping that he gets through everything and gets back fully healthy, and we can see the TJ Hockenson in the future that we've been seeing the last year and a half or so.
No, and I agree completely, man. Just like you said, having a breakout year. Like, man, Chop was all over this guy, man. Or, you know, pause. You know what I'm saying? But he really was a fan of just what he saw from this game. Crown him as the best guy going forward, you know what I'm saying, based on what he's been seeing this year from him. So it was definitely having a great year personally. And that team as well, man. This is a team that still got a backdoor chance for the playoffs as well. Like, I don't think that book is closed on them. I know it's getting pretty tight all the way around, but I think still, like we were saying with the Broncos, statistically, they're still in the running, I believe. And so now to lose this piece, just like my dog said, man, after all the injuries they've already been through already, man, that's a terrible blow for the team, and definitely hate to see it for TJ Hockenson, man. Speedy recovery.
Absolutely with you there, Willie Jack. All right, man. So there goes the news for today, man. So definitely have to touch on those two things. But now we got some people in the building, Willie Jack. So now that we got these people in the building, I need you to do a film fam check-in, man. Go ahead and talk to me. Who done fell off in the building, Willie Jack?
Yeah, let's see on this thing, man. First one through the door, Mom Deuce. Mama, I love you. Appreciate you, lady. Good evening. Have a blessed show as always. We appreciate you. Our dog, man, our favorite coworker, ZB, Zach the Mac, is in the building, man. Happy Wednesday to everybody. Man, the film bell in this thing, my sister in this thing. Good evening to all the filmmakers in the film squad. Man, my dog. I've been looking for you, boy, my dog, man. Day one gang Terrell in this thing, man. What's up to the fellas? Let the film speak friendly and the filmmakers, what's going on? Auntie in the building as well. She said, what's going on, nephews? You know, we appreciate all y'all. And then the rest of y'all, man, go ahead, drop something in the chat. You know, you talk to, you know, we like to talk back. But yeah, man, appreciate y'all. Y'all sit down and get locked in.
We done said it, Willie Jack. Philadelphia done got them a win. And guess who done rolled in?
Hey, I ain't see y'all, boy. You, Jeff. You know what I'm saying? I ain't seen none of the Eagles film. I ain't seen none of the Eagles Bird gang. I ain't seen none of that, boy. Where y'all been at?
Them boys was hibernating, boy. They ain't want to be seen, boy. They was walking around with hoods over their heads, tied up tight so you couldn't know who they was. Them boys was hiding out. Jarrell, Jeff,
everybody was home on time. Everybody in by 10. You know what I'm saying? Like,
hey,
when nobody running no extra errands. Yeah. Where y'all been at, man?
No extra earns. Boy, that's crazy. Well, man, let's go ahead and jump into some of these games, Willie Jack. And of course, we normally start off. We do it in a certain order, but man, we're gonna start off with the Ravens and 49ers game. One of the games of the week. This was actually Willie Jack's game of the week, man. We're gonna start off with that game, just off the simple fact that it's been a hot topic as of late, man. We've been talking a lot around this particular game, and we're just gonna jump into that one first, man. A really good game.
Let's get straight to it.
A really big game going into it. A lot of anticipation, a lot of things on the line with this game, man. And the Ravens come away with the W on the road, 33-19 in San Francisco. Willie Jack, talk to me, man.
Yeah, and I ain't gonna lie. I know you got a lot for this one too. So I'm not gonna even step. I'm not gonna step on your toes.
Do your thing, bro. And it's no way in this world you're gonna be able to stop me from what I'm about to do.
No, I already know, but no, honestly, just like my dog said, man. Big time matchup, potential Super Bowl preview. You know, we know all those storylines, and this was definitely the game, man. So Goliath versus Goliath, both teams look to be the most consistent teams in either conference. And then and honestly, man, only one of them showed up to play. And so or essentially, Brock Purdy comes out. They're driving the ball, and this is the thing about this game as well. The Niners, for a large chunk of this game, especially like that first drive, they come out and move the ball right down the field. Kittle's first touch goes for 60 yards. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think his first two touches, he had 2 catches for 80 yards to open up this game. They go right down the field. And then honestly, the first interception, Kyle Hamilton, Brock Purdy's just late. It's open field, so you got 2 high safeties. It's a perfect call for the situation. They got split safeties and they got an inside post or a quick little bang 8. And Brock's just late. I mean, he's late. If he throws that on time, then he gets it. He gets it there. Kyle Hampton's not even in the window to make that play. But by the time he comes back to it, and he doesn't have tremendous zip or velocity on his passes, and so I mean, he just sees it late. Kyle Hamilton sat in his zone. He didn't get washed or pulled out of the zone, and so easy peasy, 7 points comes off the board right there. And then from there, man, it was just one catastrophe after another. I'm sure we'll go in and break them all down, but this is one of the things. I'm leaving a lot of meat on this bone for you, Chad. I'm gonna leave a lot of meat on this bone for you. But here's one of the things. You ain't got to, bro. Do your thing, dog. Here's one of the things that really struck me about this. And shout out to No Balls, No Glory, man. I got Nate chat. I got Nate show and in the chat yesterday, man, and definitely was real active in the comments, man. We were talking about this game as well. But one thing I talked about is, you've got 3 first-half turnovers, 3 first-half interceptions. One of them in the red zone that definitely should have been a 7 for the other squad. And they go into halftime after these 3 interceptions, also minus a 7, and you're down 16-12. And so that right there in and of itself tells me that this was – I mean, one of the things I talked about on Sunday was there wasn't as many ways that I could see the Ravens winning the game. It was going to have to be something like this. I think if both these teams are playing at full potential, I still like the Niners in that matchup. But I mean, you gotta, like I said, the Ravens beat the team that showed up. That's on the Niners for coming out that way. But no, man, it's extremely. I'm gonna back out of this. I want to hear what my dog got to say. I want to hear what my dog got to say. Like I said, I didn't want to get too far in there. But like I said, the thing I'll say about it is, man, like I said, for a lot of this game, this was still a game with all the turnovers. You know what I'm saying? And so, like I said, 16-12 with 3 first-half touchdowns, and that's taking a 7 off your own board. That still tells me that this Niners team is still hell on wheels for just about anybody else, unless they show up and shoot themselves in both feet multiple times, which is what they did on Monday night. But yeah, go ahead, man. Let me see what you're thinking, man. What you got for me?
Absolutely, and I think you hit it right on the nose, Willie Jack. You hit it right on the nose because this 49ers team, when they were moving the ball, and it just shows you how good of a team this is. You know what I'm saying? It's not just one aspect. It's not, it's not the quarterback. It's not just the running back. It's not just the receivers. It's not just the offensive line. It's not just the defense. Like, this team as a whole, you have to, it's not enough just to shoot them a couple times, you know what I'm saying, in the leg and in the shoulder, you know what I'm saying, and then in the stomach. No, when they fall, if they still breathing,
Well, you got to put one between the eyes.
Yeah, you better put one in the head, in the neck. You better put one. You better put them down and shut the door. Now the Ravens were able to do that. You know what I'm saying? So kudos to them. Kudos to the Ravens for coming out and being able to do that. But this is one of those teams where they are hard to beat. They are hard to beat. But I want to give them their credit though, because I think they had a great game plan. And this is part of the reason why I say, you know what I'm saying, or that part of the reason that me and Willie Jack came up with, let the film speak. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Because you can look at the yardages or look at the numbers and say, dang, the Ravens didn't play very good defense, because the 49ers, through all of those 5 in the total interceptions in this game, 4 by Brock, 1 by Sam Darnold, the 49ers still were able to put up 429 total yards of offense this game. Mm-hmm. Christian McCaffrey still, I believe, went over 100 yards rushing in this game.
He did.
You know, like these things were still happening regardless of the amount of turnovers and everything else. So that just tells me how good this team is, just in general, and how much of a machine or machine that they are when I watch them on paper. You know what I'm saying? And with all of those yards, it only amounted to 19 points. And this is why I give the credit to that Ravens defense, because it was, the game plan was, all right, let's take away these screens and let's take away the areas that Brock Purdy likes to attack the most, which is the middle of the field. Okay. And then also part of that, and I know this sounds crazy, Willie Jack, I know it's going to sound crazy, but let's do as much as we can to stop the run. Now Christian McCaffrey had a 39-yard run in this game, but if you watch his runs in the first half, it was 2 here, 3 here, 3 here. You know what I'm saying? For a little minute, then he broke one, and then he had another one right after that to punch it in for the touchdown. But their goal was to, all right, let's get them into 3rd and 5, 3rd and 8. You know what I'm saying? Let's make Brock Purdy have to complete these passes, but let's take away their bread and butter at the same time. You know what I'm saying? And then let's move from there. Let's go from there. Let's see how it can work. And those things work for them. Okay. Now, Ravens side of it. Okay. Ravens side of it. They, even though they had 0 turnovers, they didn't play as clean ball either. Okay. And I'm gonna ask you this question, Willie Jack. After we done had our conversation last, I think it was the last show or the show before that, and I told you about what this could do to the MVP rankings. Mm-hmm. I told you what was going to happen, and what everybody was going to start doing. I told you this is exactly what was going to happen, and that was my whole point with this whole MVP award in the first place, is how fickle it becomes because of these games, because the games are on mainstream, the games that are mainstream, the big time games, you know what I'm saying? And because like everybody's watching, but if it's only one game on TV and it's a big game, a lot goes into those. Lamar Jackson did not play his best ball in this game. Like the last 2 games I seen him, he played very well, but this game he had a few different turnover worthy plays, one including like the play
the safety to open the game,
the safety to open the game. Like at times, Lamar Jackson does this, and he tries too hard to make plays. I understand it's a big game, emotions are high, and you want to do your best to play as well as you can. But those type of plays can't happen against good teams, because if the 49ers were on, if Brock Purdy didn't have those turnovers, Ravens, y'all in trouble. And then you not doing nothing to help it, Lamar Jackson. And then there was another play they got lucky on. He got sacked, but still tried to throw the ball. I hate when quarterbacks do that. That makes me cringe. When they're falling, and they still try to find some way to try to throw the ball. No, that's a turnover worthy play. Like, you can't do that. Now, luckily, he was down. He ended up in the sack, you know what I'm saying? And it didn't hurt them, but those were consistent plays that he was trying to make in this game, which were going to hurt him. You know what I'm saying? So that's one part of it. But ultimately, the second half was what counted, because, and this is what I always say, you turn the ball over, you give this many opportunities, it doesn't matter what type of defense you are, your defense at some point is going to get exhausted, it's going to get tired, and you start giving up things. And that's what we saw in the second half. The Ravens eventually started to open the thing up on offense against the 49ers, because they just were on the field so much and so many different times, and it was only so much they can do. You know,
but here's the thing. Well, I don't even necessarily know if the Ravens ever really had like a cohesive offensive move in the ball, because they had a couple just splash plays there, like a 3rd and medium, and then he hits Gus Edwards, who gets a catch and run for 40 yards and takes him down, you know what I'm saying, inside the 10-yard line. Or he's scrambling, the one right before halftime where he's scrambling behind the 50 and breaks a 50-yard scramble breaks Fred Warner's ankles in the open field for one, and gets 30 yards, and then they go down, and that gives them the late field goal right there before half. You know what I mean? And then they, even like the Zay Flowers touchdown off after one of the, I don't know which one. I want to say the Zay Flowers touchdown was off of one of the interceptions. And actually, since you didn't mention it either, let's talk about the interception. So we talked about the first one. It's a late post. It's a late post against split field safety. So it was a perfect call. He's late. That's a pick. That's the only one that I feel is that's bad ball. The second one was just a great play by defensive player. It's an RPO, a pull, throw the smoke wide, and then honestly with it's a safety. Boy had to have a 44-inch vertical. He gets up, tips it, and then and catches that one himself. That's a great defensive play. That's not a style of play that doesn't happen often. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, that's just one of those ones that happens. The third one is the one that really kind of hurting was the backbreaker, and that's the one that came, and that's the one that led to the Zay Flowers touchdown. So he's scrambling around. There's a flag for a holding call, and so one of the Steelers, or the Niners, I think, left guard tackles one of the defensive tackles. There's flags all over the field. Brock Purdy is still scrambling and booting around because it's still a live play. And I guess in his mind, for all he knows, he's got a free play. You know what I'm saying? Or he doesn't know that the flag's going against him, whatever. Realistically, it's a dead play already because it's going to be a hold. Regardless of what happens, holding is coming right back. You're going to lose those 10 yards. He's scrambling. He boots out. He throws it to Kittle, and Kittle's whoever's guarding Kittle has pretty good coverage, but the ball bounces off Kittle's shoulder pads. It bounces off his shoulder pad, Aaron, and there's an interception on which should have been a dead play. And then, like I said, now we're in short field, and then they get the touchdown to Zay Flowers there. And then even that fourth one, C-Mac is running a little Texas angle route out the backfield. Pocket collapses. Brock gets his arm hit as he lets it go, and now the pass sails, and then Patrick Queen picks that one off. That's the fourth interception. He picks that one off. He runs that back into around the 30, 25, so just outside the red zone as well. And so honestly, that's why I was like, when I go through and kind of really think about it, I don't think offensively the Ravens did too much that was overly impressive outside of, like I said, a couple key splash plays, and then also capitalizing off of the turnovers that set up short field. Like I said, I'm looking now. Gus Edwards finished with 30 yards rushing and one touchdown. He had that one catch that he catch and run that went for 40 yards. I mean, and he was the leading rusher outside of Lamar. Lamar has 45 yards rushing. Well, 30 of them came on that long scramble before half. You know what I'm saying? And so, I mean, it wasn't really there wasn't really a lot there, honestly, for Baltimore. It was the Niners doing everything they could to put their own eye out, shoot themselves in the foot, slam your own finger in the door. I mean, anything that they could have did to stop themselves, it feels like they did in this game.
Gotcha. Yeah, absolutely, Willie Jack. But I also think of the same. I thought the third one though was a bad ball. Well, it's not. Was the second? No, the third one. I thought the third one was a bad ball with the scrum.
The one that bounced off, the one off the shoulder, the one with the holding penalty, and he forced it
because of the coverage on that play. It wasn't because of the. I mean, you could say it still bounced off his chest, so it was a good throw, but it still was borderline bad coverage, and he kind of threw that ball back towards the middle of the field, while scrambling to his right, which is the reason why I kind of felt like it was I don't know if that's a throw you want to make, you know what I'm saying? But to each his own.
No, I get you. No, I guess, and I'm not mad at that. The only thing I would say is, with the flag, I think he may think that he may have a free play, and then also it's Kittle, and so it's like I got one of them ones. We are, you know what I'm saying? Let's try to make a play. It might be a free play. And so I looked at it like that. But no, you make a good point though as well. Like, you know, that's one that you just don't have to put that one in there. So you make a good point.
Absolutely. But all in all, man, I'll say this, man. I'll say what I took from this game is the Ravens defense. The Ravens defense played a very, very, very good game in terms of, all right, we're gonna bend, but we're not gonna break. At the end of the day, if we don't do nothing else, we're gonna make things tougher on Brock Purdy. We taking away these easy throws. These easy ones, we taking away those. He's gonna have to make some throws in this game. The difference is the Baltimore Ravens, they have the coverage guys to be there and be in close proximity for a lot of these throws that he's making instead of these guys running wide open across the middle of the field. Now, early in the game, George Kittle found his way there, but that soon stopped, and those throws became harder. So you saw him get a lot of those passing yards on the outside to Brandon Ayuk and on the back shoulder. Like those type of throws were the type of throws he was going to have to make throughout that game to beat him. in which I don't think he's capable of doing that. And I think the Ravens just did a good job of game planning for that,
Well, and that's the thing though, bro. Like he can make those throws. I mean, he made them. You know what I'm saying? Like he has made those throws. I mean, it's in a loss and they kept turning the ball over. Ayuk goes 6 for 113. You know what I'm saying? Because and like you said, he was the recipient on a lot of those like deep outs. You know what I'm saying, that you're talking about. And I mean, a lot of those were put on the money where it had to be. I mean, but yeah, man, you can't throw, your starting quarterback can't throw four to, I think off those 4 picks, I think the first 2 only led to field goals in that first half. Then I think the second 2 in the second half led to touchdowns. So I mean, that's 20 points off of those 4 turnovers right there. You know what I'm saying? Then Sam Darnold on the cleanup time, he throws another one just for fun. You know what I'm saying? So he's not left out. But yeah, no, that's wild, man. That was a wild game. But,
so right now, who's your MVP, Willie Jack? Talk to me, dog.
And I'm gonna tell you, man. Like I know I can't say Lamar's the MVP, dog. I really can't, because like I guess he's the high hand. Brock Purdy, by and large, you know what I'm saying? My dog Chop, you know what I'm saying, held strong. He wasn't on that wagon. But by and large, Brock Purdy was assumed to be the guy, or he was the guy that assumed that number 1 spot. He only got to sit in it for about a week and a half, you know what I'm saying? But I don't think Lamar necessarily supplants him, not for me, because Lamar, they're 11-3 now, right? I think they're 11-3 now after this victory.
12.
Oh, 12. Okay, 12-3. Okay, yeah, there you go. I'm sorry. So they're 12-3 now after this victory. And they've definitely been winning. But they've won a handful of games this year in which Lamar's stat line was like 9 for 17 for 106 yards passing, no touchdowns, no interceptions. You know what I'm saying? He's not rushing the ball as much as well, which is a concerted effort because he is looking to be more of a passer. But there's a handful of games here, 3-4 games for sure that come to mind, in which Lamar was essentially a non-factor. You know what I'm saying? And this team is talented enough, especially on the strength of that defense with Keaton Mitchell, and that as explosive as that run game it got before he got injured and created that big spark. And so they were running a lot of these games in which Lamar really just didn't have to be the guy. And so it just doesn't give me what I want, Chop. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't give me what I want when I'm looking for the guy that I want to be the MVP. And then even honestly, man, Tyreek has lost a little steam, I think, because he was injured, he was banged up, and then in the game he missed, they 30-0 a talented New York Jets team in the game that Tyreek doesn't play. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it kind of hurts you. If you're going to be a receiver, to be the first ever receiver to win this award, Jerry Rice didn't win it. He got 23 touchdowns in 12 games, and he didn't get it, didn't sniff it. You know what I'm saying? John Elway went 7-5 that year and won the MVP with like 1,900 passing yards. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? So if you're going to be a receiver, then you've got to be A+, A1 every single time. And so I think he's lost a little juice. I think C-Mac still has some a foothold in the discussion, but I mean, I don't know, man. And you know who is rounding down for me though, bro?
Christian McCaffrey is the reason it was still 16-12 in the first half.
No, he really was. He was for sure. But it's one of those things where just it's hard in that position. Like when Adrian Peterson won it, I think he was the last running back to win the MVP. When Adrian Peterson won it, like that second half, Adrian Peterson might have got 30 carries that second half, and he might have went for 230 yards and 3 touchdowns and clawed them back in the game. But the way that game unfolded, like C-Mac didn't get a chance to really kind of cook a shot. He finished with 14 for 103, and I think another 30, 40 yards receiving. But I mean, so C-Mac still has argument, but this is the way it's shaping up for me. And if they let Josh Allen and these Bills run it off, bro, getting these playoffs, that's the guy, man. Leading the league in total touchdowns. He's got over 40 touchdowns right now. They've been playing do or die ball for about a month, showing up week over week. And now in all these games, he hasn't necessarily had to be completely lights out dynamite, but he's got to punt. He's got to get buckets. He has to get buckets week after week, and they have a zero margin for error, just the way their season is unfolded. And just about right now, they are looking to be, outside of the Niners and the Ravens, they're the next scariest team in this league, and they're at 8-5. They're at 8-5 ball club. Nobody wants to see. You know what I'm saying? And so I think it's shaping up that, man, my dog Big Josh might come in and backdoor this thing, man. The way looking, like I say, they're gonna have to finish it out. You know what I'm saying? Because the way he's on track to have 50 total touchdowns this year. You know what I'm saying? And a team that was out of contention that would have had to run off. If they finish it up, they're gonna finish like on a 7-1 run to climb into the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Like I think Big Josh might sneak in and backdoor this thing. But I'll go C-Mac right now. I'll go C-Mac right now on the strength of what he has done. 21 touchdowns this point in the season, and definitely is a stud, no question.
I ain't mad at nothing you said, Willie Jack, but here's where my counter argument is for a guy like Lamar. Now, Lamar's not in my lead either. Let me get that clear, because I don't want anybody to start feeling like I'm pushing for Lamar to get this MVP, because he's not my leader for MVP. Because like I said, I just know how it goes when you look at it.
Lamar's got 19 touchdowns and 7 interceptions.
Listen what I'm saying. Let me finish.
Oh, yeah,
I know how this goes in terms of the optics, which is the reason why Lamar jumped to number 1 in the first place. And this was my whole point, and when we talked about Brock Purdy in this first, if you watch the boy play and how he's playing the game and all of that type of stuff, there's no way in hell he should have jumped from wherever he was listed at on this list to number 1. But it's a big game. It's on primetime TV. On top of it, they have the best record in the NFL. So, okay, gotta be him. No, not to me. Now, don't get me wrong. Now, here's why I battle you on the Lamar versus Brock Purdy thing. I think that he is more valuable in general than Brock Purdy, but I don't think he's the most valuable player. I think he's more valuable in the sense where, yes, he got 19 passing touchdowns, you know what I'm saying? But he also got 13 on the ground. The boy got 83% of the team's total touchdowns. You know what I'm saying?
Lamar got 13 rushing touchdowns. He ain't got 13 rushing touchdowns.
Hey, the boy got 83% of the team's touchdowns, bro. He got 83 of them. And then on top of that, you know what I'm saying? And then, but somebody like Brock Purdy only has about 57% of the team's touchdown. Josh Allen, which I'm glad you brought him up, that's the direction I was getting ready to go, Willie Jack. Because if we really want to break this down and talk about who should be the MVP, you know what I'm saying? Now, don't get me wrong, it's going to depend on these last 2 games. He's going to have to play spectacular in order to get it. But in terms of being more valuable, yeah, just Josh Allen is more valuable. He's got 85% of his team's touchdowns with 40 totals. Like these boys is super duper valuable to their teams, and then all these people sitting up here yelling at me, talking to me about Brock Purdy. You talking about the guy that when Sam Darnold came in to replace him, the offense looked exactly the same. Man, it's a hard for anybody to just tell. You can't give me no chicken leg and tell me a steak, bro. That ain't working, bro.
All right. No, hold on real quick. Lamar got 5 rushing touchdowns, bro. He got 5 rushing touchdowns.
I made that up. My fault.
Yeah, I was like, because he ain't been running that much, bro. I was like, hold on, man. He ain't been running that much. Not to have that many. I think, he's got 5, but not not just to say just those stats alone are the key, but like I said, man, it hasn't, like, to be the MVP. It's a little, you gotta have a little pizzazz. You know what I'm saying? It does have to be like, you do need a clutch or like a big time game and show up in a big time primetime game in a big time moment. And Lamar just did that. But I like I said, man,
I think I was talking about Lamar. My bad. Lamar got 13 of them. My fault. I mean, not Lamar. Josh Allen got 13.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. There we go. Yeah. Big Josh. Yeah. Not for sure. But yeah, man. Like it's just when I just look at just Lamar and his play, like, it's not that he's not valuable. That goes without saying. But I don't know, man. Like it's not doing it for me. It's just really not. And not to say that he can or they don't deserve. I mean, that's wonderful. You know what I'm saying? Like, do your thing. I'm a Lamar Jackson fan. You know what I'm saying? I'm on. Yeah, I got footage. I can pull my footage. You know what I'm saying? I've defended Lamar numerous times, so it's nothing about slander or hate towards Lamar. But it ain't doing it for me, big dog. It's just not. It's not doing it for me this year. It just ain't.
I got you. Hey, yeah. And it's been a lot of up and down, inconsistent play. And also, that's who I was thinking about. I don't want y'all to forget about Jalen Hurts now. I don't want people to forget about him because Brock Purdy also went on a 3-game stretch where it was terrible. It just so happens that Hurts' 3-game stretch just came towards the end of the season, so it's looked bad when we really get in the mix of talking about MVPs. Hey, man, that boy still got 11 wins. And he's in the 80s, 80 in terms of percentages of the touchdown for his team. And he just threw for 300. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know,
bro. I don't know, but I think Hurts' name might be Stone Cold, boy. I don't know. I don't know if he you think Hurts is still well, if that's the case, man, then I think probably then that means that Dak's still in this thing as well. Then if that's the case, I mean, Dak had one very poor outing, I guess, in Buffalo. I mean, it was just bad.
To me, none of those guys are completely out of it, because if you just look at the big picture and the stream of the list of, and we're gonna get out of here too, Willie Jack, but you just look at the ball, the type of ball these guys been playing the majority of the season, in comparison to like these last 2 to 3 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Everything is just kind of moving. Nothing should be moving that much at this point. Guys have already played 13, 14, 15 games. You know what I'm saying? So nothing should be going from here to here. If anything, it should be going from here to here the first 2-3 games of the season. If you're talking about MVPs, then when you get here, things should be a little bit stable, because we've already seen
15 weeks play. Yeah.
We done seen that. You know what I'm saying? We done seen Jalen Hurts beat big time teams. They beat the Bills, in which, you know what I'm saying, they came in overtime and put it on them boys. Like they had a couple big wins this season already. You know what I'm saying? And then now it's just like, all right, because it happens at this time in the season, we just discredit them. You know what I mean? There is no difference between Jalen Hurts and Brock Purdy and that 3-game bad stretch. They got the same record. There's no difference. It's the same thing.
Well, I think they do at the same stretch, but I think like in the wins, Jalen hasn't looked as good or as clean in the wins, because there's been something off about this Philadelphia Eagles offense all season, and we've all noticed it. So it hasn't necessarily looked the same. But when Brock and the Niners are rolling, boy, it's prime time, greatest show on turf style football. You know what I'm saying? And so I think it does look different. So I would give him the edge still there. But I think, man, if I like C-Mac, Jalen, Josh Allen. And then honestly, if just based on kind of what you said, not being the prisoner of one moment, then I think Dak is still got to be in that talk as well.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I definitely do. So I think Dak would probably be in my seat right now. And so
for sure. All right, well, let's go ahead and get into some of these games, man. We had to get that one out the way, man. We done already, you know what I'm saying, went almost halfway through the time. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to roll through, but at the same time, we'll give y'all what y'all need, man. So let's talk about the Falcons, man. The Indianapolis Colts go to Atlanta to take on the Falcons. Falcons win this game at home, 29-10. Willie Jack, what's your take on this one, man?
Oh, shoot. Hold on, big dog. My notes is off.
We done switched it up last minute, man. My fault. That's my bad, dog.
Can you start for me?
Yeah, no, for sure. Big win for the Atlanta Falcons, man. They definitely needed this one to for sure stay in playoff contention. They are a game back behind the Tampa Bay Buccaneers right now, and they're fighting. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, I believe they lost the tiebreaker. So in order for them to get in the playoffs, I believe they have to win these last two, and they also need the Bucs to drop 1 or 2. I'm not sure who the last 2 teams that Atlanta Falcons face at the end of the season. They may even face the Bucs again. I can't remember if they played them twice already, but they came out and played well. And Taylor Heineke, man, came out and played some cleaner ball. And this honestly was the reason why I felt like they would be a playoff team with him, because they come into this game, he makes no mistakes, and he's definitely not gonna make as many mistakes if he does with Desmond Ridder. And let me get this straight: he's not a no mistake type of player, but he makes less mistakes than Desmond Ridder, and I think he can make some of the same plays that Desmond Ridder shows that he can make, throughout the season. And he comes out and does it. Only throw for 220 yards, 1 touchdown, no interception. But then the run game got going for Atlanta. They were able to use a balanced attack. Bijan Robinson got most of the carries. They still found a way to give Algier 9, and total they ran for almost 200 yards in this particular game. So they really controlled the clock, and they utilized their playmakers a lot. So even though Bijan only got 12 carries, he had 7 receptions in this game. So they were making sure that they were getting the rock in his hands for him to make a true difference. And then me and Jack, I think me and you were still on even after the show ended. We talked about him hitting Kyle Pitts early in this game for a touchdown.
Yeah,
we ended up having an okay game, having a couple good key receptions in this one, but that was pretty much the story. They came out and played the same solid defense that they've been playing all year long. They got out the Gardner Minshew, 6 sacks in this game, no touchdowns and an interception. Like, they just made things tougher on his team. even though Jonathan Taylor was back, he couldn't get much going. So it was just one of those games where Atlanta just controlled offense, defense, and they just controlled this entire game. So Atlanta came away with the W, man, and they did what they supposed to do. And this is what happens, when you make sure you give your playmakers the ball and you don't turn the ball over for the Atlanta Falcons. They're a good team.
No, exactly, and I was going to touch on what you just said there as well. Atlanta really controlled this game, like I said, with the pressure they got up front, like my dog just said. Also, in addition to them 6 sacks, 8 tackles lost in this one. Jesse Bates has another interception. He should locking up one of them All-Pro safety spots for sure. It has to. He had another interception in this one. And so now, great points all the way around.
The two All-Pro safety spots may come from that same division, dog.
No, because Kyle Hamilton got one of those spots, if you're asking me.
You think so?
And not Kyle Hamilton been balling, dog. And not just
Antoine Winfield over there. Antoine Winfield over there going crazy, boy.
I feel with Winfield, but I'm going Hamilton, bro. The way Hamilton's really he's doing so much because he gets that interception that we just saw Monday night, of course, playing split field safety. He's also playing lining up on the end of the line of scrimmage. He's rushing. He's playing a lot of duties in the box at the same. I mean, he's really
on that second interception. The boy got pancaked. Got up and got the tip pass for the interception. I gotta see you the video, dog.
Hey, I need to see it. Yeah, because the play ain't dead. But no, I think I would get that edge for me, man. It's Kyle Hamilton and Jesse Bates for sure. But other than that, no, I think you summed up the game pretty good. Make up a little time as well. So yeah, no, I don't need nothing else to add to that one.
Okay, gotcha. All right, what is that? You caught up? You good on your notes, man? Because I might come back for you.
I looked down and we had a different order. I was all over the place. I was like, hold on, my fault.
I got you, man. But I'm coming right back to you, man, because we talking about Big Gino. Big Gino coming up big on the road and going to Tennessee, man. They beat the Titans 20-17. What happened in this game, Willie Jack?
No, man, this is a very good win. Like the Titans, of course, aren't a playoff team. We know that they've already been officially eliminated. But this is a team that has been playing pretty decent ball. I think for the better part of this last month. They haven't all been wins, of course, but they've been playing. I think a lot better ball. They've been either tough, hard-fought, impressive victories like we saw against Miami, or still being a harder or a tough out for teams that come in and come see them. You know what I mean? And Seattle being one of these teams, they come in and go across country in a game that they've got to have. They're still firmly in their own playoff race. Big Gino pretty clean on the day. 220 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. DK gets an interception as well. And then I think the story for them as well. Now, of course, Levis being out, Tannehill, I think makes his first start in about 2 months. But that Seattle front line, that defensive line, extremely active, really kind of controlled and dominated this day. 6 sacks, 10 tackles for a loss for that Seattle defense. To really make it difficult for Tannehill, who only throws for 150 yards in this one. Now, Derrick Henry does have a decent enough day. 19 carries for 88 yards and a touchdown. Does have the passing touchdown in this one as well. It felt like for a while, I remember it feels like a couple years ago, it felt like he threw a touchdown like it felt like he used to throw them like more frequently. It feel like it's the first time in a while. I feel like wait, did he throw one earlier this year?
Yeah, this is second one this year. That's the second one this year. But yeah, you right though. It's this. They used to call. I don't know if it was it was like they do like the Tebow type play for him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the little jump. Yeah, it felt like he used to do a little more frequently. But I mean, this is the second one for the year. So I mean, that's I don't know how many times that's going to happen. But no, like I said, man, Tannehill doesn't get much going there. But still, like I said, a tough, hard-fought match. And like I said, you lost to a better team. But no, if you're the Seahawks, you keep rolling. Like I said, they keep pushing for those playoffs.
Absolutely. And I'm with you there, Willie Jack. I ain't gonna stay into this one too long. But the crazy part is the Titans started off controlling this game. They started off running the ball, and it looked like the older Titans team. And of course, I mean, it's easy to say that when you got Ryan Tannehill back as a starter, but they kind of look closer to that, playing some good defense. They held the Seahawks to 3 points in the first half. The problem was the Titans couldn't score much either.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So even though they held the Seahawks to only 3 points in the first half, they only scored 10. So second half, you still only down 7. If you're the Seahawks, you in good position, and you still got all the playmakers. It's just a matter of time before somebody, does what they need to do, come open, and you make a play. And they were able to do that in the second half. They come out, they put together the points, and then even with the Titans responding, that puts the Seahawks in position to put together that game-winning drive. Man, it was a masterful game-winning drive by Geno Smith. And that's the thing with Geno for me, Willie Jack. I know you're a big fan of Big Geno, man, and everything he does, you know what I'm saying? But I will say this. With Geno, he does this in spurts. It's not consistent enough. I want to see him play like the same way he played in that fourth quarter throughout an entire game. Because that fourth quarter, he was lights out. He ended up putting up, I think, 14 points in the fourth quarter. Like, I want to see him play more lights out football like that, you know, for complete games. Because if they can, then we talking about the team that you thought they were going to be coming into the season, like a team that could possibly win this division, even with a team as strong as the 49ers, even with, you know, the Rams just turn their butts up, you know, 2 times a year. You know what I'm saying? They can do that. You know what I mean? They can do that even with these 2 teams in their division. You know what I'm saying? They can come out and do that. But because some of that play is inconsistent, you know, it prevents them from being as good as they could be. And I'm going to end it with this, Willie Jack. I'm going to throw something your way, man. My bad. I'm sorry, but I got to
do your thing. Do your thing.
Because Matt LaFleur over there, man, still sitting, got a chance to get into the playoffs, while your boy Mike Vrabel, you know what, I ain't gonna finish that. I'm just gonna keep.
Hey, hold on, man. Hey, that ain't got nothing to do with Mike Vrabel. Mike Vrabel doing what he got to do, bro. If anything, if Mike Vrabel don't do nothing else, that Dolphins victory, hey boy, he can hang it up, man. Look, hey, he didn't establish his work. Y'all know what I do out here, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm rebuilding. I got a young guy that eats mayonnaise in his coffee. You know what I'm saying? We gonna get him settled down. And yeah, but now Vrabel, wait till Vrabel get them ingredients back in the kitchen. He gonna get back cooking. Yeah, y'all in trouble. Once Vrabel get his squad together.
I got you, Willie Jack. I got you. Keep on moving, man. Let's go to this game. We got the Detroit Lions. They go to Minnesota to take on the Vikings. Lions win this game on the road, 30-24, man. Big win for the Vikings and also history, man. History for the Vikings. First time they have won a division in how long, Willie Jack? Was it since
30 years, bro? I think they said 30, a full 30 years, I believe.
1994. 1994 was the last time the Detroit Lions were able to win a division, man. They had players, emotional guys that's been on this team for years and years and years. They've been fighting. They've seen the lowest of the lows, man. They've seen
0-16 season.
Man, they've seen some terrible seasons. And to be in this position that they're in right now, hey man, I'm happy for the Lions. I'm happy for y'all. Y'all done worked hard. Y'all done put something together. You know, y'all built something, and now y'all playing well. And Dan Campbell, man, I gotta give you your props as well, because you know I liked you when we watched you on Hard Knocks.
Hard Knocks, yeah.
I liked you when I watched you on Hard Knocks, but now to see you really put this team together and come away with, well, first and foremost, they got an 11-win season.
Yeah,
they're tied for first place as a number 1 seed right now. Like them, the Eagles, and the 49ers all have 11 wins right now. You know what I'm saying? With all these teams, the Detroit Lions actually have an opportunity to come away with the number 1 seed, man. So that's crazy to think about or even talk about, you know, after watching the Detroit Lions for so many years.
It's been a long road for Detroit for sure.
Man. So got to give the Detroit Lions their credit here. Divisional matchup, strong matchup, man. These teams battled. They fought hard. And what better way to do it than in a hard-fought game like this, where it's like, all right, man, we need to find a way to get this done, and they were able to do it. And essentially, it came down to what we talked about, Willie Jack, was that, all right, man, we know that the Vikings are going to play some solid defense. We know that Kevin O'Connell is going to mix up some things on offense. They're going to be able to do some things to possibly put some points on the board. But at the same time, we just can't trust Nick Mullins. And that's what it came down to. 4 interceptions in this particular game. You just can't turn the ball over that much. You know what I'm saying? Because other than that, they did a pretty good job of, you know, slowing down this Detroit offense and not letting them be as explosive. But when you have 4 turnovers and they get that many opportunities, the same way I just said with the 49ers versus the Ravens, I mean, it's only a matter of time where something is going to break and they're going to be able to put up points or splash plays or whatever they're going to be able to do. And they were able to do it this game. And because of that, you know, Amon-Ra St. Brown, another game over 100 between their running backs, over almost 150 yards total rushing, and Goff was able to keep it together, not make mistakes, and because of that, they get the W in this game, man, and they make history. Well, I'm not necessarily, I guess you can say make history, but it's a great day in Detroit.
They ended a 30-year. No, yeah, they make history, man. They ended a 30-year divisional drought. You know what I'm saying? So like that's massive. You know what I'm saying? Like shit. I don't know how long have the Lions been around as an organization. Have they been around for 60? You know what I'm saying? Like they won. You know what I'm saying? They spent
a
half
long
of their
time,
existence.
man.
Yeah, they are maybe 80 years, but they spent almost half their existence not winning that division. And so that's a massive moment, man. They one of those teams that were the perennial bottom or basement or cellar of the division, and now they're the guys sitting on top with a chance for 2 more games to see if they can somehow lock up or steal that number 1 seed to make these playoffs go through Detroit. And so no, that's definitely massive. But no, I think you hit the nail on the head. Clean ball from Goff, 250 yards. Does throw the one touchdown there to Amon-Ra St. Brown. That run game, that 200 monster that they've got is really really impressive. Really carrying the day. Both those guys good. I think I like everything you said there. As far as that. And then Mullins, 4 interceptions, but boy threw for 400 yards. 400 yards in this game, man, which is crazy, a massive number when you see that coming from Mullins. And then here's ZB, our dog, man. He said you understand why Justin Jefferson didn't have 40 targets in this game. And this game, and I'm glad he said that because I want to highlight, bro, this is why I say that Justin Jefferson is the best receiver in football. He's not the most explosive. He's not this, but bro, the one where was it? 3rd and 27, and he just lost it up. Jefferson goes up between 2 dudes, falls awkwardly on his back, snatches it, comes down. You know what I'm saying? Now it's first down after 3rd, 27. These are the things that I'm telling you, bro. This was one of those games. And some of those catches that really reminded me of this is the guy. This is the guy. You know what I'm saying? I know Tyreek's got 4. He's got 4-0 speed. You know what I'm saying? I know AJ Brown's is built like a muscle Mack truck. I get it. You know what I'm saying? But not Jamar Chase is I get it. But nah, man, it's games like this, man. When I see him make plays like that, and his routine is this is what makes me say he's the best in the business. But nah, other than that, man, I think you summed it up pretty good.
Man, I wish they would give my guy some offense, man. Give my guy a rock, man. Devontae Adams is the truth. Anyway.
Who?
Yeah, you know who. You know who. All right, man. Let's go on to the next one, Willie Jack. We got the Washington Commanders going to New York to take on the Jets. And the Jets end up winning this one 30-28 at home. Willie Jack, what happened with this one, dog?
Man. I know that you've been trying to tell me about it, man, but I know.
I'm gonna spur you. I wasn't even gonna get you. I'm gonna spur you, brother.
I know
you know what I'm saying? Because I'm used to this. Because I'm used to this. You know what I'm saying?
Let me start with the winners. So Trevor Siemian gets to start in this one, and plays a decent enough game. Now I'm not gonna lie. The fact that the Jets were able to win this game where Trevor Siemian throws damn near 50 pass attempts. That's scary.
Trevor Siemian was terrible in this game. Did you see him play?
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. The fact they won this game where Trevor Siemian throws 50 pass attempts, that is a crazy impressive in and of itself. Like I said, they found out they won this game with having Trevor Siemian drop back 50 times or 49 times. And so that's insane right there. Breece Hall has a pretty solid workman day, 20 carries for 95 yards. He gets 2 touchdowns on the ground there. Huge day receiving, 12 catches for 96 yards. And so really double dip there. And then other than that, man, Sam Howell, man, my dog, look, they done set you down 6 for 22, 56 yards and 2 touchdowns. It was a very, very, very ugly day. He was running for his life. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing about it, man. The boy was running for his life. He gets set down. Jacoby Brissett for the second time. I think it's the second week in a row he comes in. And Jacoby's looked good both times that he's got to come into these games. He finishes this one. He goes 10 for 13, 100 yards, and does throw a touchdown in this one. And then I think it has been announced Sam's essentially benched going forward. And so Jacoby Brissett is going to get a chance, to, I guess, to probably finish out this season and see if he can kind of keep that spark and keep that mojo going. But I said I'd say I'm still not ready to give up on Sam. I'm not ready to give up on Sam, but they definitely got to do some things, man, to settle him back down. Like you say, he's a young guy. He's running for his life. He's taking a lot of hits. And so I think he can still be salvaged. But no, like I said, the Jets find a way to win. Trevor Siemian throwing 50 pass attempts. You score 30 points, and you leave out of there with a dub. And so kudos to the Jets.
Absolutely, Willie Jack. Absolutely. And it was a Breece Hall show, man. Got to give it to him. And I'm gonna tell you how he won that game with all those pass attempts, because they was about to lose the game because they went down in this game. Jacoby Brissett put them up a point in this game in the fourth quarter. I don't know. He drove them back and put together 3 back-to-back scoring drives, you know what I'm saying, where they scored touchdowns and was 10-12. Like Jacoby Brissett was playing some good ball, you know what I'm saying, behind that same offensive line, Sam Howell came behind. So I don't know what's going on.
He's more athletic.
Oh.
he's a better athlete, man.
That's what we tied this to. There's a bunch of different ways you could have went with that, Willie Jack. I don't know if that was your strongest one, brother. But no, man, like I thought this game was gonna be a blowout. I mean, it was 27-7 at half. 27-7 at half.
Yeah, it was ugly. It was ugly fast.
And it in my opinion, it was like, oh well, there's no way that Washington is winning this game now. Now with the Jets defense, like there's no way. The only reason the Commanders scored 7 in the first half was off of a fumble snap by Trevor Siemian inside their own 15, which set the Washington Commanders up for a touchdown. You know what I'm saying? So that was the only reason that happened. But then, of course, second half happened, and Jacoby Brissett came in to save the day. You know what I'm saying? Put together some good drives, man. Just a different style of offense, and they were to put together those 3 touchdown drives. To put them back in this game and actually put them in position to win it. You know what I'm saying? And that's all you can really ask for, especially as a backup. Come in, be ready, and do your thing. I imagine they went into half and said, hey, look, 27-7. I'm sorry, Sam Howell. This is it for you, Jacoby Brissett. Go ahead and do your thing. And for the second week in a row, like you mentioned, Willie Jack, he came in and looked good. But here's the part why I felt like they won it. Because there's no way Trevor Siemian is putting together a 2-minute drill himself the regular way. That 2-minute drill, the first pass went to Tyler Conklin, a little short pass over the middle. Every pass after that was a dump off to Breece Hall. That's how they were able to do that. It got them up to like the 40-some yard line, 30-some yard line, to where they set it up for like a 57-yard field goal.
Yeah.
If anybody know anything about GZ, you know what I'm saying, Greg Zuerlein.
Greg the leg.
It's a reason why they call him that. You know what I'm saying? Is the boy. He might not be the most accurate because he was a kicker for us for some years. He might not be the most accurate, but that boy can kick it about 65. You know what I'm saying? Easy. You know what I'm saying? So they set him up nice, and he ended up banging the kick in, man, to win that game. You know what I'm saying? So they go home with a W in that way. And hey, kudos to the Jets, man. I thought it was gonna be a blowout for sure.
Yeah, no doubt.
Absolutely. All right, Willie Jack, man, we're about halfway through tonight's show, man. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit him with a quick break, a little word from the sponsor, man. And we're gonna come back and finish this show off right, man. So we'll be right back.
For sure.
So, Let the Film Speak, hosted by the wonderfully handsome and intelligent brothers of Let the Film Speak. That's Chop and your main man, Willie Jack. Yeah, feel me. Also brought to you by the 3 Amigos. Y'all know them and you love them, man. That's the 3 Amigos. That's like, that's share, that's subscribe. That's 3 the hard way. That's a 3-piece spicy. You cannot go wrong. Now, I say the same thing every week, so y'all can say it at home with me. I know y'all ready for it. Here we go. It's 3 Amigos, but it's 4 parts to this process, big dog. First, you just got to tap in. Like my dog said, man, come in, tap in. Just say what's up, man. Just holler. Hey, what's up, 3 Amigos, man? Like, share, subscribe. Hey, Chop, man. Willie, man, what's going on, man? It's cool. I sit on the couch. For sure. Y'all got some cold to drink? Oh, man, my man. Yeah. Oh, yeah. By the way, man, I'm a Broncos fan. That's all you got to do. That's it. That's easy. And the Chop, come in, sit down, get comfortable, get a cool adult beverage, and let us know who you ride with, big dog. Then tell a friend. Like, man, that's a nice deal in here, ain't it? Man, it's cool, man. My homeboy was out. He was down. Man, it's cool. I can tell a friend. Tell a friend, man. And you know what? Even better than that, you can tell your friend to tell a friend. Guess what? There's more. You can tell your friend to bring his partner too. Bring one more because we need 4, man. Bring them up into the penthouse. Tap in with your dogs, man. Wednesdays at 7 o'clock. You know we don't wear no watches. We ain't got nowhere else to be but in here kicking football flavor with the fam. And now back to the regularly scheduled program. All
right, Willie Jack. All right, well, let's go ahead and kick this second half of the show off, man. We got the Green Bay Packers going into Carolina to take on the Panthers, man. And what turned out to be a pretty entertaining game, man.
Yeah.
The Packers end up winning this one 33-30 on the road. They hold off the struggling Carolina Panthers, man. And I'll go ahead and jump into this one, Willie Jack. And the Packers start out pretty strong, and it was led by Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones being back and healthy in this lineup, man, makes a tremendous difference for this team and this show. Over 127 yards on the ground, man. So he had a pretty big day there, and they kept the Panthers at bay. You know, they held them into the fourth quarter, essentially. You know what I'm saying? And then the fourth quarter, that's when the Panthers started to turn around a little bit. That's when they started to get hot. And again, like I talked about last week, this is what you want to see from Bryce Young. You want to see him pick himself up off the mat. pick yourself off of the mat and put together some drives and do some things that's going to help your team win games. And they end up putting up 14 points in the fourth quarter to tie the game. And one of those plays, man, and this is where I also feel like this guy still has the potential. Okay. And it's never a bad time for bold predictions, Willie Jack. It's never a bad time. It's terrible time.
I don't know if I've seen terrible time just yet.
Terrible time ain't in here, right? Okay. I wish you could hear this, you know what I'm saying? Because he gonna hate it. And y'all know how I love to be on heels alone. I love it.
Oh, Lord.
I love to be by myself.
Where you going now? I'm nervous.
Bryce Young will end up being better than CJ Stroud. Now, I know what y'all saw rookie year. I know what y'all saw from CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud was playing some ball. But Bryce Young is going to be better, man. Bryce Young is going to be better, Willie Jack.
Is this the same CJ Stroud that 7 weeks into his rookie year, people were there was MVP whispers before the boy gets hurt? The same guy? The same guy who they were wanting? Okay.
Here's my thing with that. We all know how fickle I just told y'all how fickle MVP award was. They starting that. I think they said Justin Tucker was MVP at one point. Like, we don't, these people, boy, hey. But anyway, it's never a bad time for a bold prediction, man. So I think Bryce Young is going to end up being better than CJ Stroud. Y'all mark my words now. Y'all heard it here first. You know what I'm saying? So just holler at your boy. Come back. I know y'all going to jump on me like y'all did in the chat and was all on my back and neck. Now I got some room. It's like, get up off me. I done told y'all, you know what I'm saying? I do this. Anyway, let's keep on pushing. Anyway,
I got you.
It was one of the dimes. It was a dime he threw, man, on the run. And the player was coming with him. He put it in only a spot where his player can catch a touchdown pass. And that was one of those throws I was like, man, see, this dude, I'm telling you, he has it. He has it. And through everything he's been through, all the trials and tribulations throughout this entire year, what I saw was no matter what, that didn't break him. And to me, that's only going to make him better. Only going to make him better. And I expect some good things, some big things from Bryce Young in the years to come. And that's why I kind of say that. But Packers, at the end of the day, the Panthers tied the game. Packers put together a game-winning drive. And for Love, you can see the potential. He's still learning to play the QB position. He doesn't have all the nuances down yet. He's still learning that. But you can see all the potential that everybody sees, man. The touch, the arm strength, all the different things that he possesses. He is, like, just from skill set, and just talent-wise, he has all the tools. He has everything. It's just really learning the nuances of that position. And ultimately led them to a W. And of course, Panthers try to put together another drive, and Bryce Young actually hits a throw, but too late. They couldn't get to the line of scrimmage in time to spike the ball to even try for the field goal, man. And the Packers end up winning this game.
All right, first off, you gonna tell me that little rinky-dink, little funky-ass pass is enough to ignore all the magic that we saw for that trumps what we saw from CJ Stroud, 2-minute drills against a red-hot Bengals team, or 2-minute drills against a red-hot Jacksonville team to keep them in that game. They end up not winning that.
Let me see. That's why I want to remind you. I want to remind you because some of y'all seem to forget. Your boy put up those numbers against Tampa Bay, right? He did it against Tampa Bay because him and Baker Mayfield was going back and forth. And that was the game he busted on the scene with 5 touchdowns. That's the game he came onto the scene. The very next game, your boy struggled in the first half and then came out in the second half and then played well. And then after that, it started to go downhill.
Tell me, no. Because then you remember in the 5, but no, he played damn good ball before that 5 week maybe put him on. That was enough to start the MVP talk. But CJ Stroud has a body of work that has been consistently. He started not even bad, but he really started picking up steam after those first 2-3 games. He started progressively taking massive steps forward, culminating into MVP style talks. But that was another overreaction by the people. But I mean, honestly, that's the thing that we've been saying all year. It's a muddy year. The pool's dirty. You know what I'm saying? So it's just we're scrambling to try to latch on to somebody. But seeing, and then also even seeing this Texans team, how they look without him, they found a way to get a couple ugly wins with Case Keenum and Davis Mills. But seeing the drop off in this team since the rookie's been out, further cements his value and importance to this team. If Bryce Young sits out, you know what happens, Chop? Andy Dalton has the offense looking great. They look better. They were better when Andy Dalton was running this offense. They're a 2-win team right now. They probably win 3. They probably have 2-3 more wins if Andy Dalton plays. You crazy. You crazy. But
Andy Dalton, you talking about the former guy that used to go to the playoffs just about every year. And you talk versus the Case Keenum.
I don't know. Andy Dalton. Hey, look.
Case Keenum.
Hey, I don't know. Hey, look. I don't know what he did 10 years ago. I can tell you what he did 10 weeks ago when Bryce Young had to sit down and Andy Dalton came in this thing and threw for 350 and had everybody thinking like, damn, we actually could probably score some points if we had his Rick. That's the Andy Dalton I'm talking about. But anyway, getting into the game though. But not just like you said, man. The Panthers it took the Panthers too long to get going. Like I said, the Packers were in pretty solid control of this game, but they never quite really put it away. I think they had like a two score lead in that first half, and I think in that second half, I think the Bengals ended up scoring in that third quarter and kind of closing that gap. And so it just feels like it never quite got put away. And then of course they get the 2 big scoring drives you're talking about towards the middle and toward the end of the fourth quarter. He finds DJ Shark for 2 late fourth quarter touchdowns, and now they close that gap and kind of give themselves a chance. But now also, like I said, the Packers came out and did what they had to do. Another team as well, firmly in the mix for a playoff spot as well. And so they had went on the road and picked up a win against one of the team with the worst record in the league, or thereabouts. And so you gotta win this game for the Packers.
Gotcha. And speaking of CJ Stroud, we might as well go ahead and move on to it. Let's go ahead and talk about the Houston Texans, man. The Cleveland Browns go to Houston to take on the Texans. The Browns win this game on the road, 36-22. Willie Jack, talk to me, dog.
Oh man, the Joe Flacco show, man. The Joe Flacco show is here to stay. And so I've mentioned this now for I want to say the last 3 games, all wins, of course, by Joe Flacco. But Joe Flacco goes 27 for 42, 368 yards, 3 more touchdowns in this one. Also, still does throw 2 interceptions. But excuse me, lucky for Joe and lucky for these Browns, his positives are far outweighing his negatives. And honestly, him and Amari Cooper, I guess, the star of this show, and they got started early, 75 yards. It felt like right out the gate, and I think it was the top of the second quarter, but it didn't slow down from there. But yeah, you get 75 right up top to Amari. That gave us a sample of what was to come because he dominates. Those two dominate this game in totality. 11 catches total. He finishes with for 265 yards, 2 touchdowns. David Njoku, we talked about as well, who's been having probably his best year, I think, of his career when it's all going to be said and done. But when Joe got in there as well, he definitely became a prominent fixture in this passing offense. If it's not Amari, it's Njoku. If it's not Njoku, it's Amari. He has another touchdown in this game as well. And then, like I said, for the 3rd time in a row, which is just amazing to me, how Stefanski has completely they've completely switched the identity of this team. This is not a grind you out. We're gonna run the ball and play defense. 40 carries. This is not this team. Ford goes 15 carries for 25 yards. Kareem Hunt goes 7 carries for 11 yards. You know what I mean? So we've got from these 2 guys combined 22 carries for less than 40 yards. Now both of them do get touchdowns, but just the way the whole identity of this team. This is a kind of just a deep 5 to 7 drop offense. And chuck it. This is a 5 drop chuck offense now, and they've made this adjustment on the fly with the advent of Joe Flacco into this offense. And so that's what's been most impressive, honestly, watching this Browns team and watching Stefanski to see how they've really rallied and changed the trajectory and the direction of this offense just so drastically. Then on the other side, just like we're saying, man, CJ Stroud out, Case Keenum gets a second start. They win more or less in spite of Case Keenum. I don't think he really did anything to differentiate himself last week when they got the win, I think, against the Texans. And now he gets the second start this one and gets pulled, doesn't have that same magic, or they weren't performing. But Davis Mills comes in and kind of rights the ship. Case Keenum was pulled in 62 yards, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Comes in, not a spectacular play, but 15 for 32, 150 yards, and 2 touchdowns and no interceptions. Devin Singletary held in check as well. Browns defense is still playing super tough. Singletary only 9 for 44, isn't able to get it going. Nico Collins in his first game back, he does find the end zone, but has a relatively quiet day. And then Derek Stingley, I want to shout him out as well. He had another interception in this game. I want to say I think he's got 3. That's his 3rd or 4th interception now since coming back from IR like 5-6 weeks ago. So I think he's averaging like an interception every other game since he's came off of IR. But no, the Texans, man, without their quality stud, top of the class rookie quarterback, just didn't really have much, didn't have the ammo to keep up, man, with Cool Joe the way he's throwing the ball.
Gotcha. And just to piggyback on that, Willie Jack, the Browns may be the scariest team in the AFC, just being honest. Like the scariest team. And the reason why I say this is because, one, they play top-tier defense. And I know you said they switched their attack, but they still remain one of the best rushing attacks in the NFL. They have more than competent QB play. You know what I'm saying? So it's one thing to just come in and just keep the ship afloat, but then it's another thing to actually be able to make plays to make some things happen in this game. And Joe Flacco has been able to make things happen for this particular offense. You know, so you got that. And then they got the playmakers that can change the game. And that's obvious here in this game when you see the game that Amari Cooper has going up over 200 yards, breaking the Cleveland Browns receiving record in one game. You know, so they have all those different things, and that's a recipe to beat anybody. There's not a team in the AFC that they can't beat right now if they catch them in their own and they play the right game, because they can do just about anything, and they can beat you a lot of different ways. So for me, they are right now, I think, the scariest team. And the crazy part is they're another team that has an opportunity to possibly, play, or they could possibly get the number 1 seed if everything falls away. Now, I don't see Baltimore falling out of this in terms of odds. I'm just talking odds right now and how the possibilities work out. So that's a possibility, but I don't necessarily see that happen. But here's the thing though with Flacco. Flacco will have to eliminate turnovers. You know what I mean? Now, he did have a couple in this game, but they were meaningless. They didn't mean anything in this game. One was like an interception before half. He was trying to make a play, and the other one was an interception where they stopped the team. They couldn't do anything anyway. So neither of those interceptions cost them anything in their game. So they didn't really matter. But the Browns controlled the game from start to finish. You know, it was not too much that the Houston Texans could do. I mean, even with 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter, it was a 36-7 ball game. 36-7 with 6 minutes left. There's no way Houston was coming back.
Exactly.
They kept falling. They even got an onside kick in this game, and they were able to put up some points, but it was too little, too late, and the game was just all but over at that point. So Browns took care of business. They did what they were supposed to do.
No, of course they did. And then a good question for our dog ZB, man, and it's got to be on the minds of everybody in the front office in Cleveland for sure. Is what do you do with Deshaun? Like you said, I mean, he had 2 decent games this year. Now he did battle injury. He was in and out of the lineup, of course. And then when he was in, I could think of 2 games in which they were quality performances. One of those was a Ravens game in which he just had a dynamite second half. So he had 1.5 games worth of quality $200 million quarterback play. And then other than that, I mean, it's been uphill. It's been uphill going. I mean, they just haven't got return on investment. And now you get a damn near 40-year-old Joe Flacco, half a season into sitting on his couch, who shows up, and it feels like every week he's threatening 400 yards in the air. You know what I'm saying? And so, now definitely good question for my dog ZB, man. What do you do? I mean, I tell you what you do. Contract's fully guaranteed, man. Deshaun ain't going nowhere.
Exactly.
Deshaun ain't going nowhere.
Money talks, man. Money talks. They didn't pay that boy all that guaranteed money, and don't nobody else want that money unless they desperate, unless they want to come out and do something silly. You know what I'm saying? One of those teams that maybe feels like they're just on the verge of doing this. But I still don't know if they want to go.
He's not attractive for those teams. Those teams don't have faith in it. Yeah.
That's drastic. It's drastic. But you keep them. You got to keep them. You got to keep them. You got to play them. You got to see what you can get out of this. Because, with all that being said, the game that you did see, like a lot of people can start to feel like, all right, man, he was just starting to get everything under him. He was just starting to get right. But you paid him. You paid him in money, so he's coming back.
He's not going nowhere.
He's playing. I tell you what, though, that may solidify a spot for Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco might be sitting behind him next year instead of who was it, PJ Walker?
PJ Walker and DTR, rookie DTR.
Joe Flacco may be the one sitting behind him. I'll tell you that. You know what I'm saying? So,
and that would be my take as well, because Joe Flacco, for as good as good a ball as he's playing right now, he's still a 40-year-old quarterback. And so I still don't necessarily know just how many avenues there are going to be for him via like free agency to have a legitimate chance to go somewhere and start. Like I really don't see that happening unless it's one of these teams that just gets left completely out the mix. And I mean, and you know, he just has to kind of come in much like we did see for the Browns. But now if I'm Joe Flacco as well, seeing how the success you're having for one, and then seeing how injury prone that Deshaun has been, go ahead and resign, make them cash you out, get that premium top tier backup quarterback money. You know what I'm saying? Which is a damn good bag. And then I'm sure they'll give you some incentives for if you have to start a certain amount of games, etc. And so if I'm Joe Flacco, I'm staying right there. I ain't going nowhere. I'm keeping that pressure on Deshaun, and I'm waiting for him to get hurt because, like I said, I've seen him miss he's gonna get 8 starts this season after, like I said, spending the first half of it on his couch.
Gotcha. All right, well, Jack, let's keep on moving, man. Let's go to Tampa Bay, where the Tampa Bay Buccaneers welcome the Jacksonville Jaguars in their home, and the Tampa Bay Bucks, they win this game at home 30-12, man. Win this game 30-12, and I'm gonna go ahead and get that out your way, Lily Jack. I'm gonna say something right now that's probably gonna make you feel real good. You know what I'm saying? Make you feel like you think you know what you're talking about. But see, I played a bigger picture game here, Willie Jack. You know what I'm saying? I played a bigger picture game. You know what I'm saying? And all this is about to do is make my overall arching point when I talk about players in the first place.
Go with it.
So here you go. First and foremost, Baker Mayfield, man. Baker Mayfield is playing the best ball I've seen him play since he was like a rookie in Cleveland. Was that his first year? When he went crazy and they went to the playoffs? Was that his first year, Willie Jack?
No, I think it's the second year.
Okay, but that's the last time I seen Baker Mayfield play this type of ball. Baker Mayfield playing some good ball. He's not turning the ball over. He's playing clean. And the overall arching point here is this, Willie Jack. First and foremost, hey, man, good job. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Baker Mayfield is not as trash as I thought he was. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to say that first. But my second thing,
I appreciate you, my dog. I appreciate you.
But my second thing, though, is that goes to show you, man, how important situations are, the situation that you're in, how much they play a part in your performance. Okay, that is one thing I say a lot of times when I talk about different players in different situations, how good they can be if they were here or if they had this or if they had this. That goes a long way, man. And even for quarterbacks, you see Baker Mayfield in Cleveland and the trajectory of his career, and everybody kind of writ him off. Everybody thought he was trash, including me. You know what I'm saying? I thought he was a backup, but he goes to the Tampa Bay and he's playing some pretty good ball. Now, is he a guy where you say, no, this is a guy, I want to keep him. He's my franchise guy. I don't know. Jack, you may feel different about it than I do. I don't know if I'm ready to say that just yet, but I will say that he's a starter in this league. He's a starter for sure in the NFL, man, and he's playing some really good ball. And the Bucks take care of business at home. He throws for over almost 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, playing clean, getting everybody involved. You know, resurgence to, well, I ain't gonna say a resurgence to Mike Evans' career, but he has turned Mike Evans up a little bit from last year, you know, in that down year with Tom Brady and Tom Brady's last year. And he has another 2 touchdowns this game. Another 2 touchdowns. Yeah. And the Buccaneers are rolling, man, and they looking like they're really starting to find themselves, find their identity, and trying to take full advantage of, you know, their position as the leaders in this division. On the other side, man, I don't know what's going on with the Jacksonville Jaguars. I know we called them pretenders.
I'll tell you what it is. It's the return of Bad Trevor.
It is.
Return of Bad Trevor.
It's the return of Bad Trevor. And I don't know if it's because it's injured or whatever it is, but if you out there, I ain't got no excuses for you if you're out there. And Trevor Lawrence is playing some terrible ball right now. He is not playing to the level that we thought he could reach as the first overall pick. You know, everybody, you know, chalked him as a superstar, a future superstar. And we saw moments, and we continue to see moments. Like, I think we're going to always see moments of greatness for him. But right now, it's looking like it's becoming more of his identity and his character of who he truly is versus, all right, we're still looking at the potential. At some point, the potential goes away, and it's, all right, this is who you is, and this is who we're living with, and this is just what it is. We're giving you enough time. We're giving you a lot of time. But right now, it's looking like, hey man, this is just who you are. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
Trevor Lawrence, rough game for the Jaguars, man, and they're struggling and they're getting ready to give up this division if they don't get things turned around and fixed in a hurry, especially with CJ Stroud coming back.
Oh, look at that. So you mean to tell me that the second best rookie quarterback in this year's draft is going to come back and steal this division? That's
No,
what you, is that what you're saying?
don't flip
Jaguars
my
and
words.
Trevor
Don't
Lawrence are
see.
falling by the wayside, and now second best quarterback. Imagine if they had Bryce Young, they'd be 12-win Houston Texas team, I guess.
You flipping my words. You flipping my words, man. I didn't say who was better right now. CJ Stroud is the better quarterback right now. But Bryce Young, a bold prediction. That means the future.
No, I got you.
Bryce Young is going to be better, man. Willie Jack, don't be trying to do that to me, dog.
No, I got you. But not just like you said, man, this game was over before it got started. I think the Jaguars got 21 in the first half of this game or pretty soon thereafter. Like I said, it was ugly going. Before they even kind of get out their own way. Trevor Lawrence has 4 turnovers in this game, 2 interceptions. He lost 2 fumbles. Tampa Bay, that defense was a problem for him all day. They had 4 sacks, 2 picks, and 2 forced fumbles, like I just said there. We did want to shout out rookie Yaya Diaby, rusher from, I think, Louisville. He had a sack and a half and one of those forced fumbles in this game. And I want to shout him out because when I was looking at him in the preseason, I wasn't overly high on him. But now he's balling, man. When he gets out, he's a guy I think he needs more opportunity because I do feel like the more that I see him, the more he flashes. He's got much better speed and explosion than I thought he had. Like when I see him rush. But yeah, no, I think other than that, man, you summed it up pretty good. Mike Evans and Baker Mayfield are definitely locked in. And then here's the thing about Baker and Cleveland, because you did make some good points. But this is the thing that we forget: Baker Mayfield, that last year in Cleveland, he should have been on the IR since like week 3. He played with a torn shoulder, trying to be a tough guy. It was a contract year. He bought into this sacrifice for the team and all these things that people love to say and throw at players. And then the first opportunity they got, they went shopping for a guy that hadn't played quarterback in 2 years, 2.5 years. Gave him money that he wouldn't dream of giving Baker Mayfield, a guy who's out there bleeding, sweating, and crying and shedding tears for you, playing through a torn shoulder, ruining his own. Baker Mayfield was on the verge of being out the league. He was on the verge of being Sam Darnold, just gonna be on the back of somebody's roster and you'll never see him again. You know what I'm saying? He was on that style of verge, and he's found a way, man, to fight through it. Had a little layover in LA before he goes to Tampa Bay. They make him duke it out and make him fight for that job with Kyle Trask. He wins that. And then, like I said, like the further we've gotten to this season, the more comfortable and the more affluent he's become in this system. And now he's rolling. Just like my dog said, man, he's playing damn good ball. You know what I mean? And definitely look like they're in position to steal that division away from the Saints as well. So they still right there in the mix for that as well. So playing very good ball. Like I said, him and Mike Evans getting it going. And so I ain't gonna knock him, man. Big Bay doing his thing, man. Big Bay's gonna be in Tampa Bay, man, for at least he's gonna be in Tampa Bay for another 3 years. So I think he's gonna get one of those nice kind of like those when he's gonna get one of those Geno Smith style contracts. 3 years, maybe the first 2 guaranteed. It'll be a decent little pay bump for him, and then they'll see how far they can take it.
Gotcha. What's your Willie Jacket? My dog BP done fell in the building, man. The real BP, and we ain't talking Brock Purdy.
Let's go.
We ain't talking Brock Purdy. We talking BP, Brian Pap. You know what I'm saying? He came through me. He said, "Good evening, brothers. Trevor Lawrence looks really, really bad. He's a mid-tier QB like Kirk Cousins, man. Hey, you better watch yourself.
Hey, don't disrespect Kirk Cousins like that.
I'm gonna say, watch yourself,
don't
man.
Disrespect.
Willie Jack ain't gonna let you talk about his boy Kirk Cousins like that.
Don't disrespect Kirk Cousins like that now. Trevor Lawrence wish he could look like Kirk Cousins. What you talking about, big dog? I tell you who Trevor Lawrence look like. It damn sure ain't Kirk Cousins. Gardner Minshew. He looks like Gardner Minshew. When Gardner Minshew is off the rails, Trevor Lawrence looks like Gardner Minshew. That I'll say that. And Gardner Minshew even playing. Gardner Minshew's more his tier. Yeah, he's not. He ain't Kirk. He wish he could be Kirk. Yeah, y'all going crazy, man. Y'all gonna put some respect on Kirk's name, man. Yeah, y'all lucky Kirk got injured, boy. He was starting to turn up. He probably been the MVP right now.
Hey, he was hot.
He was like 70% complete percentage. He was leading the league in passing when he went down. 24.
I wouldn't go that far because we know he was down. He was down to come down.
But I'm just saying,
he was hot. He was hot.
Hey, you as good as the last time we seen you, boy, and he was on fire before he got hurt. That's how that goes.
I got you, Willie Jack. I got you.
Sure.
Let's go on to the next one, man. We got the Arizona Cardinals, man. They go to Chicago to take on the Bears. Bears win this game at home, 27-16. Willie Jack, what's your take on this one, man?
Man, my take on this one, man. If Justin Fields was the quarterback for the Baltimore Ravens, they'd have the exact same record that Justin Fields would be y'all MVP talk. But that's all good. Other than that,
whoa. Hey, now you better be careful because boy, that BP a Ravens fan. Now you better watch how you talking.
Oh, I know. Oh, hey, I was in there. I was in the chat yesterday, man. I was in the chat mixing up with with the People's Champ. You know what I mean? The first lady in the gang. I was in there mixing it up a little bit last night, man. We had it was some good conversations going on. But no, man, the Bears are just doing exactly what we expect them to do. Heavy dose of Justin Fields, damn near 100 yards, 97 yards and a touchdown on the ground, 170 yards, does throw a touchdown. He throws a very bad interception in this game. I hated the interception. It was just a terrible pass, terrible read. And I want to say it was like they were going in towards their own end zone. And so, does throw a bad interception. But the run game was the story of the day. 250 yards rushing in this game. Like I said, you get damn near 100 for Justin Fields. Khalil Herbert has a massive day. He goes for over 100 in a touchdown as well in this one. Cole Kmet being the leading receiver, he goes for over 100 yards receiving in this one. And then for the Cardinals, man, for Kyler Murray and those Cardinals, bro, I think they showed a graphic or a stat in which like no receiver had caught a pass, or like the receivers on the team as a whole are averaging like 3 receptions a game. Have you seen that stat? It's some style of crazy graphic. They're just no production from their receiver room at all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like it's no production, but at the same time, I don't know. I'm having a hard time figuring out if it's because he's just choosing not to target them, because Trey McBride is eating up a lot of targets. And here's the reason. Yeah. The reason I know, because I had Marquise Brown on my fantasy team. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I would watch these games, and I'm just like, damn, man, Trey McBride is just that's his guy now. That's his guy, and that's what it looks like in his offense. So everything. It's almost like how Baltimore was the years previous. You know, everything goes through Mark Andrews. The other guys, I mean, you better get it where you fit in. You know what I'm saying? When you get your turn, but it's the Trey McBride show.
And speaking of Hollywood Brown, how salty you think he is? He left Baltimore for Arizona, and now looking, you know what I'm saying? Like, if he could have just waited it out, you know what I'm saying? If he just could have waited it out, you know what I'm saying? And probably been still kicking around in Baltimore right now.
And they went to go get a guy similar in stature, has speed, is type of playmaker, kind of like how Hollywood Brown was.
Zay Flowers went out there and filled the void. Yeah, hey. Yeah, you know, man, we missing a small, shifty, speedy, quick receiver, man. Let's go get one. Hey, yeah, they didn't already replace your homeboy. But nah, man, these Cardinals, they've got to do something. Good news, good thing for them. Help is on the way. Because Marvin Harrison Jr., unless they sell that pick for somebody coming to get a quarterback, maybe they move that pick to New England, who can get to that number 2 seed and make sure they get one of the top 2 quarterbacks. But other than that, Marvin Harrison Jr. is on the way, boy. And he will be a problem. So better days are on the way if you're a Cardinals fan, man, as far as production at receiver room. But yeah, the Bears, that defense still playing pretty solid ball in this one, and they win this one. Pretty much. I mean, I can't think. I'm trying to think. I don't think this game was ever out of hand, honestly. I mean, they were just in easy or in pretty solid control of this game from the jump.
Yeah, the Bears just controlled it offensively, controlled the ball on the ground, of course, controlled the time of possession, and they smothered the Cardinals' offense. The Cardinals, besides Kyler Murray, they don't have much offensively that can really make a huge difference. And the Cardinals played clean too. They didn't throw any interceptions. They didn't have any lost fumbles. They did fumble, but they didn't lose it. You know, so they didn't have one of those games where they just were making mistake after mistake. They just couldn't. They couldn't do anything in the game of Chicago. But then also just the defense of the Bears were able to smother them and make things just so tough on them to where they couldn't make those completions. They couldn't do the third down conversions.
Yes, I was gonna say, getting off the field on third down.
Yeah, so all those things in order to win games, they just weren't able to do. And Chicago just showed that they were the better team. And this is kind of what we talked about beforehand before they went into this game. We knew the Chicago Bears were playing some really good defense, and they continued their trend in this game. And of course, came away with the W, man. So came away with it, man.
No, no
All
doubt,
right.
no doubt.
On to my game of the week, Willie Jack. We had the Dallas Cowboys go see Miami and the Dolphins in Miami, and the Dolphins end up winning this game at home 22-20, man. 22-20. And they I guess you could say a hard fought game, man. It was a hard okay, so you know what this game seemed like to me? The energy that it gave me, Willie Jack. You know, I'm
Okay.
energy. The energy this game gave me was, you know how it's a big time JV game. You know what I'm saying? Like you know how like
is there a
you
such
got the
thing
big
as a
dog.
big JV game, bro? Is that a such
Listen, bro. Like you know how you got like, all right, the 49ers and Ravens. Oh, them the big dogs right there. They playing. Then you got Miami and Dallas. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be
almost an afterthought.
Yeah. It's like this gonna be the good. It could be a good game. You know what I'm saying? It's still two rivalry schools. I mean, with the JV. You know what I'm saying? You know,
I got you. It's like the Lakers and the Celtics playing in the primetime spot, and then you got like the Bucks and the Heat in the second game. It's still a good game, but it just don't have star power.
It ain't there. You know what I'm saying? It just seemed like two B+ teams just going at it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just what it felt like, man. But the here we go again. Dallas is Dallasing started very, very early in this game on the very first drive. They drive all the way down the field, get to the 1 yard line, and give the ball to their fullback, who fumbles at the goal line, turn the ball over, Miami gets it back. From that point on, I was like, oh my God. Come on, Dallas. Like, come on, dog. This is another big game for you. Dak, this is another opportunity for you to still stay in this MVP conversation, you know, still make your case for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, all of that is on the line here in this game for you guys too. You know what I'm saying? Like, and sure enough, Dallas did what they did. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like and here's another thing, Willie Jack, and I don't know if you got more insight than me, and maybe I'm looking more into this, but I feel like something was up. I don't know what's going on with the coaching staff and the way they're utilizing, where they trying to run the ball, and who they utilizing in terms of Tony Pollard. You know, we talked about free TP, and don't get me wrong, I think TP is a lot more talented than what the production that he's shown this year.
No, for sure.
And I've already showed early. I said earlier this season, like that. I feel like the run game was very vanilla. They're not doing anything tricky. They don't have anything special to their run game. I don't know what's going on with this, but I noticed two things. One, CeeDee Lamb got a carry out of the backfield in this game. That first drive. Like it wasn't like an end around, like anything like that. It was a straight carry, him lined up in the single back formation or either I formation. I can't remember. And he had a straight carry out of the backfield this game. I was like, what's going on with this? Because even with San Francisco, we've seen Debo.
That's like I say, Shades and Debo Samuel
carries. We've seen him do that, but now when Christian McCaffrey's there, like Debo Samuel, don't get those type of carries no more. You don't see him lined up in the backfield, two hands.
Not since C-Mac.
Getting those type of carry. No, C-Mac back there. We don't need you to do that. If we're gonna get Debo Samuel a carry, it's gonna be an end around. It's gonna be a reverse. It's gonna be those type of things. We're gonna mix it up with you, but you ain't getting no carry straight at the backfield like that. And that's what we saw CeeDee Lamb get. So I'm like, okay. And then I'm looking at key downs on also on that first drive, and the fullback Lipke is the only back in the backfield. He's the only back in the backfield. I'm like, first off, who is he? Where is he coming from? And why Tony Pollard or even Dowdle? I understand when Tony Pollard comes out, Dowdle comes in. Like, why isn't Tony Pollard in this game right now?
Well, I do
you
think
give him the ball on the goal line.
No, I think in some of those drives where he was the single backer, I think that was more so for pass protection, because both Pollard and Dowdle they're not terribly big backs for one, and I think like if you're gonna keep a back in for pass protection purposes, I think that's what that had to do with. And then now if I'm on the goal line, I got a 240-pound Dak Prescott. If there's gonna be a fullback running the ball, then Dak's the fullback at this time. I'm not gonna take the ball out of Dak's hands and give it to Lepke. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't like that call as well. But no, I think that's more so what it has to do with. But
yeah, but I could see that if he have 2 targets and 2 carries in the first drive. Why is my fullback touching the ball 4 times, bro? Like I can see that, but it's like no, we this ain't. If we gonna go out, no, we going out with our dogs, our guys. You know what I'm saying? And that, to me, that just rubbed me the wrong way, because it started with raised my eyebrows with CeeDee Lamb getting a carry, and I'm like, something's up here. Something ain't right. It's something going on that we don't know about yet, just quite yet, Willie Jack. It's something going on that we ain't privy to, and it'll come out at some point. But
no
anyway,
doubt.
moving on through the game, and I'll run through this real quick, Willie Jack. But Miami's defense is starting to put it together. They're starting to get things together. A lot of pressure on Dak. They hit him 12 times in this game. Like, he got sacked only 4 times, but they hit him 12 times. They were really after him, kept him under pressure all game, uncomfortable, weren't able to sit in the pocket and do all of the different things he do. And then on the other side of the ball, the Miami Dolphins, they neutralized They neutralized the Dallas Cowboys pass rush. Only sacked one time in the game, and everything was quick. Everything was in and out. They were able to get out. And then lastly, got to give it to Sanders, man. Sanders, 5 for 5 field goals, man. He won them this game. Like the offense of Miami was able to do enough to move the ball and put them in position, but Sanders was the one that won them this game, man. Jason Sanders hit those 5 field goals, man. Yeah, every last one of those were crucial, and hence they win this game by 2 points on the game-winning field goal, man. So big game for him, and I mean, kudos to Miami for pulling this one off, man. It was a big game. Don't get me wrong, it was a big game. Y'all pulled it off. Everybody had question marks about that, but y'all did it, man. So kudos to Miami.
No, and just like you said, man, that the Miami's defense definitely showed up and played good ball. Bradley Chubb was a menace. Like I said, I think he had 2 of those sacks in this game, if memory serves right. But and then here's another thing as well. So CeeDee Lamb finishes his game 6 for 118 and a touchdown, but half of that yardage came on one pass. I think they did a good job of containing CeeDee Lamb. There was a stretch of that game where CeeDee Lamb went without a catch for the better part of a quarter. Or maybe he got a start. Maybe he got a late start to the game, but it felt like they did a good job of kind of boxing out CeeDee Lamb for like a good chunk of that game. And then, of course, he does end up getting it going, like I said. But he finishes with 118 yards. Was on 50 of that was on one play. You know what I'm saying? One chunk splash play. And so I think that was a big thing as well. And then also, like I said, that defense playing tough. But I do want to give credit and shout out to Dak Prescott because, like I said, they're down. They drove down the field and they got a touchdown on Jalen Ramsey in the left corner of the end zone to take the lead in this game right there at the end. So Brandon Cooks runs like that little just runs a flag route in the corner and honestly just runs away from Jalen Ramsey, goes up and makes a tough combat catch. Race tries to fall back in and put a little body on him, but great route, great catch, great throw and placement by Dak. And so they take that 20-19 lead, like you were saying before, Miami, and then Miami, to their credit, of course, they're able to move the ball down there and then give old boy, man, you just said his name like 5 times. Give old boy the chance to go ahead and kick it and send it home. I think what was like Jason Sanders. There we go. So they drive and move the ball and get down to like the 30-yard line. I think it was somewhere in there and kick the game-winning field goal as time expires and they end up winning this game. But one thing I want to see from these Dolphins. Also, well, I guess Tyreek helped, not having a super explosive day, 99 yards. But I'm still waiting to see the return of Devin A-Chain, man. Like, I still don't know. Like, I know he was injured. He missed a good bulk of this season as soon as he was really tearing this league apart, ripping this league apart at the seams. And then he goes down with that unfortunate injury. And now I think this is his 3rd game back or so. And it feels like we still haven't seen him or them kind of get him back to where he was before he left, because I think that's still definitely a missing element of this team, man. They still, like, he hasn't been able to get going again. And then, like, especially as these playoffs are winding down, they've got to still win these games as well. They don't want the Bills to steal this division from them, but finding a way to get HN going again is going to be crucial, man, as they as they wind this thing down and hopefully keep those Bills off and finish out this division championship.
Gotcha. Well, hey, the next game is gonna be a very, very crucial game for them. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna be watching that. My dog Woods in the building. You thought I got you this time, Woods. Woods, what's happening with you, big dog? That's my dog Woods, man.
Hey, what's the word then, big dog?
We both played for BP, man. We both played for BP, man. Yeah, man. So
hey, that's crazy.
Yeah, man. So we in the
That's
building. We in the
crazy.
building. Keeping it moving, Willie Jack. Let's go on to the next game. We had the New England Patriots going to Denver to take on the Broncos. Patriots win this game on the road. You said you wanted Big Bill to get him one, man. And
Hey,
he got him one, man.
I was mad. I said this might be a game that Bill steals. I said it on the show.
You said it,
this
dog.
might be a
You
game
said
that
it,
Bill
man.
steals,
And Bill
man.
got him one. 26-23 on the road. What'd you see in this game, Willie Jack?
Honestly, man, just kind of like we talked about, that defense. It's one thing that Bill Belichick and these Patriots have done all year long, outside of, like, I think just one random week against the Saints that get spanked 34-0. But outside of that, this defense has more or less been just past good. They've been damn good for the bulk of this season. They just haven't got anything at all from the offensive side of the ball. And so, and no changes here. And so what? We got Bradley Zappi does have a solid day. He goes 25 for 33, over 250 yards. He does throw 2 touchdowns. No interceptions in this one as well. A workman day from Zeke, only 27 yards rushing, 30 receiving, but does get a receiving touchdown in this one. But that defense from the Patriots, Chris Barrymore, the defensive lineman from Alabama, I remember he was coming out. Alabama had a string of, like, it was a guy I can't think of. Then it was Quentin Williams, and then I think Barrymore was the guy that came right after that. They had that stretch there where they had like 3 or 4 stud D tackles come right to the league back to back. Well, Barrymore was the last of those guys. He has 3 sacks, 2 tackles for a loss in this game, so definitely massive. And then also, who was it, man? I think it was a pretty low scoring affair. I remember the Patriots missed the field. They drive down. Chris Ryland, maybe the worst kicker in the NFL. He's like 15 for 23 on the year. I know the Patriots are driving towards the end of the half. They missed the field goal, and then Denver gets the ball. Russ in that offense, they flip the field quickly there, and then they missed the field goal. They trade missed field goals going into halftime. When New England missed that field goal, I was like, damn. Bill could have won this game, and they just gonna let them down again. That was my first thought. And then Denver flips the field, and then they do the same thing. They return the favor, and so
just can't get right. They just can't get right, fellas. That's all.
No, exactly right. And then you get the point explosion from the Patriots in the third quarter. They scored 20 points in the third quarter. Now, one of those being the fumble recovery on the kickoff. Yeah, fumble recovery on the kickoff, and so they double up right there. And so then you run off 2, and then to the Broncos' credit and to Russell Wilson's credit, they do make a late push in this game to draw it back and actually tie this game up. I want to say, who was it? I can't think of the kid. I can't think who got that last touchdown to tie it up. But they get 16 points in that fourth quarter. The 2 touchdowns, they had the 2-point conversions. They tied this game up 23-23 with 3 minutes left. And then credit to Zappi and those Patriots because they're able to drive back down and end up getting the game-winning field goal to cement this one, to keep this from slipping away. Like I said, keep this one from slipping away. But this was it ended up being more points than I thought we'd see, but definitely a game that I had on my radar for a game that I thought Bill and those Patriots can go in there and get.
Absolutely, and that was big for the Broncos, man. It was big because I remember we were sitting here watching this game, and me and Mrs. Boyce were sitting there like, dang, man, why we picked the Broncos? What was going on? What was going on here when the game was 23? Was it 23-7? I think it was something. No, not 23-7. Something like that.
Yeah, it was 23-7 going into the fourth quarter.
It was 23-7 going into the fourth quarter. You're like, oh man, this is ugly. But then, to the Broncos' credit, like you said, they come back and not only get those touchdowns, but get those 2-point conversions. Like those are, people don't understand how hard 2-point conversions really ought to get. Like those are one play opportunities, and you have to get them precisely. Like you have to get them on point in order for you to tie this game. And they got both of them as well as the 2 touchdown drives. So you got to get the Broncos credit there for just fighting and ultimately what Sean Payton was able to do and to turn this team around. Now, I'm curious, just moving a little bit past the game now, because you pretty much summed it up really good. But now I'm curious to know what direction they go with this team. It's obvious that they're going away from Russell Wilson, but what are the major changes that are going to be made with this team? Like who's in, who's out the door? Like who are the big time players? Who are going to be guys they're going to keep, or who are the guys they're going to bring in to try to help with this particular team? I'd imagine like the young studs, they aren't going anywhere. Like Patrick Surtain, he's not going anywhere. Justin Simmons, I don't necessarily see him going anywhere. Like some of those other guys, and Justin Simmons is not that young, but at the same time,
he's
I just
a
think
young vet though. You know what I'm saying? He's a veteran, but he's a younger veteran though. So
right. Javonte Williams, I don't necessarily see him going nowhere. So like there's some pieces with this team I don't see going anywhere. But other than that, I think a lot of those other guys are pretty much they can be expendable. Like Sutton may hang around, but I don't know if Jerry Judy's going to be.
Nah, Judy's out of there. There's no reason. I don't see any incentive to re-sign and bring back Judy.
Russell Wilson is probably going to be out of the door, and then it's probably a bunch of other pieces. So I'm curious to know which direction this team is going to go, because I want to see what Sean Payton wants to turn this team into. You know what I'm saying? So those are some of the things I'm going to be looking at. But ultimately, good win for the Patriots. Like I said, good defense. And Bailey Zappi played with a little fire, man. And just like he did last year, he showed a couple games last year where he was like a little fiery. I mean, but hey, they come away with the W. They win it. And hey, good win for the Bills. That may be your last one this season, but hey, we'll see how it goes.
It better be their last one. And there's the thing about it as well. Like, you went out there and got a win, and now you drop from the 2nd pick to the 5th pick. Like, you got to at a certain point, big dog. Like, you want to play chess, not checkers now. Like, I think. Well, everybody came for Bill and his resume and his job, but the best thing that Bill and these Patriots can do is to lose competitively, which is what they've been doing for the bulk of this year, because they have to get a quarterback. You've got to hit a home run. And so winning these meaningless games doesn't do nothing but cost you more in draft capital, because you got to go up and get somebody. So now you're making your next quarterback too expensive, and you're moving further and further down the board. So all told, you probably didn't want to win this game.
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this. I'm gonna tell you like this, with Jake. You kiss that. That's gone. You like Bill Belichick ain't going out there doing that. One, because that just ain't Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick ain't losing no games for nobody. Two, I don't think Bill Belichick is there after this season. I think there was something to those rumors that came out. I think the Patriots are just doing a good job of keeping it quiet. I think Bill Belichick is done in New England after this season. So if he's leaving. Hey, ain't no way you tell him I ain't losing these games. For y'all, no. These are the last seasons here. Y'all can forget about this, bro.
I can't wait to see Bill Belichick in Atlanta. I can't wait to see Bill in Atlanta. Man, with Bijan and Jesse Bates in that defense, man, I can't wait to see it.
Hey.
Kyle Pitts, Bill love a good tight end now. Come on, man.
Hey. Ooh. Hey, Willie Jack, you talking, dog.
Hey, that story gonna write itself, boy. Hey,
in
that weak-ass division, boy, Bill go out there.
All right. Hey, well, I want to see something, man. I want to see something.
Yeah.
On to the next game, Willie Jack. Let's go to the Chiefs, baby. KC, the Kansas City Swifties at home lose to the Las Vegas Raiders, man. The Raiders win on the road 20-14, Willie Jack. 20-14. Let me kick this one off, Willie Jack, if you don't mind. If you don't mind, sir.
Do your thing.
Pierce said he was gonna hit him in the mouth.
He did.
And what better way to hit a team in the mouth than to run the ball and play good defense? Over 150 yards rushing. Zamir White, the running back, had 145 of those 150 yards rushing, man. Good game for him. Able to control the ball on the ground. And then they played good defense, man. Sacked Mahomes 4 times. Their pass rush has been getting after teams week in and week out. And it's like Raiders have one of those defenses where it's like, I know they've been playing good, but at one point, I know they're going to give up something. I know they're going to do. And week in and week out, they keep proving me wrong, man. I keep just waiting for those guys to give it up, but they keep doing what they're supposed to do. And shout out to Antonio Pierce and the job that he's doing.
Yes, sir.
Man, trying to make his point to be the future coach of this Las Vegas Raiders team, the head coach. And he's doing a phenomenal job, man. Phenomenal job. And like I said, sacked Mahomes 4 times. And then also, and this is one thing. Now, don't get me wrong. There's no coach in the NFL that's perfect to me, in my eyes. No coach, no head coach. And one of the things that I've always felt like with Andy Reid is sometimes he can get a little too cute. You know what I'm saying? He gets
they definitely
too
have
cute.
that. Yeah.
And I think they had a little bit of that in this particular game, and it cost them. Okay, and because the Raiders, their thing was, man, we just want to bully y'all. We don't care what y'all doing. Our job, we about to move y'all off of this ball. We're gonna take y'all where we want to take y'all, and we can control the ball up front on offense and defense. And they did that, and that's what kind of closed this game out and allowed the Raiders to do what they need to do to come away with the W. And the Chiefs, I'm still not all the way out. You once a champion, man, you get a special amount of grace with me, honestly, because I mean you still got a little bit of that. You still got that heart and what it takes. You know what it takes to win at the end of the day. But right now they just can't get right, and the offense could not finish drives. they outgained the Raiders in this particular game. Just same way the 49ers outgained the Ravens. They got 19 first downs to the Raiders, 12 first downs, and they owned the time of possession in this game, like the Chiefs did. So, like, those are all recipes for you to come away with the win in this game, but they still
especially at home,
you know. And then, to be honest, the Raiders they only allowed 7 points offensively to the Raiders. They only allowed it. The other scores came off of defensive play.
And that's what I was gonna talk about. Yeah.
So like the Chiefs, they did what they need to do, but like, hey man, yeah, they just it's just something off, man. And like I said, it's the rhythm. They can't put it all together in order for them to come away or do what they need to do to come away with these W's in this game. And it's costing them, man. It cost them, and it cost them another time. Like I said, Pierce said he was gonna hit him in the mouth. They came out, hit him in the mouth, and the Raiders came away with the W on the road, dog.
No, and yeah, just like you said now, and my dog ZB beat me to it as well, man. But Aiden O'Connell in this game goes 9 for 21 for 62 yards. He didn't have a pass completion. I thought it was after the first quarter. Was it the first half? He didn't complete a pass for the second half at all, for sure. But I don't know if he completed a pass in the second quarter either. I don't think he did because the offense wasn't on the field that much. Because in the second quarter is where the Chiefs give up two touchdowns. Back-to-back possessions, and so you get a fumble. You get Isaiah Pacheco in that second Isaiah ball inside their own 15, and Bow Nichols he recovers that fumble and their touchdown. So then the Raiders kick the ball off and give it right back to the Chiefs, and then Patty throws a pick six. Jack Jones intercepts him and takes one right back to the crib. And so right there in that swing right there, there's 14 points right there for a Raiders team that only scored 20. And then, just like you said, with Josh Jacobs, last year's leading rusher, we all forget. It feels like a lifetime ago, but Josh Jacobs is out this game. Zamir Wright, I didn't know your name before last night. Shout out to you, big dog. You go 22 for 145 and completely take the air out the ball. You know what I'm saying? Being able to successfully run the ball the way they did, especially when the defense does everything that it's doing to frustrate Patty and those Chiefs. And like I said, man, Patrick Mahomes is definitely past his boiling point. He's on the sideline, man, and he's in rare form, boy. He is letting his emotions are full-fledged on his sleeve, and he is the epitome of frustrated, the epitome of he's feeling, I guess, the weight and the pressure of trying to carry this team. As I don't want to say non-talented, because they definitely still have some good pieces there, but nah, man. So it's definitely getting to Patrick Mahomes, and yeah, find a way to let a Raiders team go into Kansas City and beat you with a quarterback who doesn't complete a pass for 3/4 of the game. That's outrageous and hard to believe. But kudos to those Raiders. Just like you said, that defense is definitely playing well. Malcolm Kuntz, that's the guy I was looking for. I was searching for his name. Malcolm Kuntz has 3 sacks in this game. So it wasn't Max Crosby. Max Crosby's always gonna be Max Crosby, but they might have found a little running mate there, because this Kuntz kid, I feel like he had a sack last week as well, and so maybe they found a little book in there. Trayvon Mulrig is a safety, one of the young safeties for the Raiders as well. He's been playing pretty solid ball here of late, and then just like you said, man, Antonio Pierce has definitely got that defense locked in. Like there was a point, just like you said, to start the year, this wasn't a great defense. They had a great pass rusher, and then they were kind of scrappy, but since he's taken over and made this his program, there's been a definitive change in the quality of this defense, and no bigger example of that is just in the way we just watched them humiliate these Chiefs.
Absolutely. There, with you there, Jack. With you there. On to the next game, man. We got our last game of the week, man. We had a divisional matchup. The New York Giants go to Philadelphia to take on the Eagles. Coming right back at you, Willie Jack. The Eagles win this game at home, 33-25. Go ahead and talk to me on this one, man.
And so this was a game. And so when we were going into this game on Sunday, I said on our Sunday show, I was like, this is the perfect like a get back game for the Eagles. They had that rough 3-game stretch, which is brutal scheduling for one. The NFL didn't do them any favors with that schedule. That was a horrendous run of 3 games, and we forget the 4th game before that was that Bills game, in which they end up stealing that one away in overtime. But that was a super rough 4-game stretch there. They dropped 3 out of 4, and then so this was going to be their chance to kind of, you got a divisional opponent, you're back at home, let's get it back going. And it looked like that to start. They come out in the first half and take control of the game. It's 20-3 at halftime, and then the Giants find a way to kind of get back in this game in the second half. The magic of Tommy DeVito has finally officially ran his course, 9-16 for 55 yards before he gets replaced by Tyrod Taylor, who doesn't have a spectacular day himself, but does find a way to move the ball and get the ball into the end zone. He goes 7 for 16, 133 yards and a touchdown. Now, he does throw an interception as well. Saquon starts to get going as well in that second half. He finishes with 80 yards and a touchdown. They get the big splash touchdown play. Tyrod finding what's old boy's
Darius Slayton.
Darius Slayton. There you go. Finding Darius Slayton for a 70-yard touchdown and kind of helping spark that as well. And so an Eagles team that is struggling to like regain their identity. You know what I'm saying? To like regain their foothold and their place in this league. And like I said, this was the prime opportunity to do so. And then you let the Cowboys are still scoring touchdowns on the Giants. The Cowboys beat the Giants 70-0 across 2 games this year. You know what I'm saying? Like, so if you're an Eagles team, I'm still worried. Like, I thought this was going to be a week where we calm the ships. There's a lot of noise in and around that locker room. I'm starting to hear stuff about Jalen Hurts' attitude in the locker room. I'm seeing all type of wild stories and things coming out that maybe they're starting to kind of the pressure of the outside noise is kind of starting to get to their locker room. This I thought was going to be the week that they calm out, they put out all those fires, they get the go ahead, get, like I said, a good get back game, get right game, and instead I've got just as many questions in this game as I had before, because like I say, you let a struggling Giants team get back into this thing, and then of course now you've got to go and score 13 points in the fourth quarter to really kind of salt this game away. What else I was going to say here? I guess and I should have mentioned as well, but yeah, I guess one of the plays that kind of sparked it as well. We get the big play to Slayton, but then the pick six from Adoree Jackson. Adoree Jackson has that long pick six. He takes it back almost 80 yards, and so you get those 2 splash plays, and now the Giants are right back in this thing. And like I said, now you've got to buckle in and lock back in and really kind of put this game away.
Yeah, and they were able to do that though, and that's the honesty, Willie Jack. That's what I give him more credit for. I look on the other side of it, Willie Jack. I understand your sentiment in terms of this game, but it's one of those things. Like when you're in a slump, right? When you're in a slump, your team is struggling. You know, a lot of times the first game out of that slump is the hardest one, and a lot of times it doesn't matter who it's against. It's almost like a basketball player, man. When you cannot make a shot, when you've been shooting, doing all those different things, you're doing all the things you would normally do, but you cannot hit a shot. Sometimes all it takes is for you to see the ball go in the rim, and once you see it goes in the rim, then you can start to heat up a little bit and start to turn things around in terms of the game. And that's kind of the way I'm viewing it. Is because the Eagles to me look dominant in this game. The way that they started off this game, the way they were to move the ball, they look dominant. The kickoff that they received to start the second half, where the guy just ran right into his own Eagles player because his Eagles player got blocked kind of into him a little bit.
Yeah.
They fumbled, get the ball up there. And then on the interception, that pick six, Dallas Goddard just falls out of his break. He falls out of his break. The ball is going to hit him right in the chest or right on his helmet, but he falls. And because he falls, then you got Adoree Jackson sitting right behind him who runs a 4.3.
And then to the races,
he's there. It's off to the races. You know what I'm saying? So there's 2 unfortunate plays there that happened, which is what really put the Giants back in this game. But right after that, the Eagles, they say, all right, cool, we're gonna get back to it. And they buckle down, they regroup, and they say, all right, well, let's get back to what we do. Let's continue to do what we do. And a part of that was making sure we give Swift the ball enough. Swift,
I was gonna say that, running the ball.
Yeah, this was a while. We haven't seen Swift get the ball as we've seen him get his carries, but it was almost like they really had a strong emphasis on, all right, let's really, really give Swift the ball, let him do his thing. And he had one of those games. He didn't go over 100, but he had one of those games. He had
20 carries in this game, but that was a big 20 carries,
Absolutely. And made some splash plays to get this offense going, you know what I'm saying, keep the crowd excited and just keep that momentum going. You know, they had over 100 and how much they had almost 200 yards rushing in this total game. So they got back to what they did best. Their offensive line was doing their thing. Over 470 yards of total offense. You know, so I liked how dominant they looked. I just think those 2 plays were easy to eliminate. You get back to what you do the best. And with those 2 turnovers alone, this easily could have been, instead of a 33-25 game with those 2 plays, this could be a 41 a 41-16 game. And then we talking about this game a little
Right,
different.
should have been, yeah.
Turnovers. Yeah, because of those turnovers, of those silly bonehead mistakes. Now we talk about it in this manner. But I expect the Eagles to be fine. I think they're gonna be all right. I think going into the playoffs, they are going to be one of those teams. They're going to be back to, all right, man, this team was still a dangerous team. I don't care what happened, the 3-game stretch that they had. This is going to be a dangerous team. They got a pretty easy rest of the schedule for the rest of the year. And now it's just going to be preparing for the playoffs. And quite honestly, the pressure is on the Cowboys and the 49ers to finish out this season strong. Because if not, Philadelphia Eagles going to still find themselves. They still and the Detroit Lions, the Eagles still gonna find themselves in the number one spot. And if they do, good luck to any team that still has to go there. And they
no doubt
chops to see San Francisco again. That's gonna be a matchup. I won't be ready for that one. You know what I'm saying? So
I don't think they want to see San Francisco again, though. I ain't gonna lie. I think that's just a bad matchup for them.
Hey, I bet, man, they looking for them. I'm telling you, they looking for them boys. But yeah, man, that's all the games from week 16. Willie Jack, man, I apologize, man. I didn't get a chance to see your message, man. I had
no, you good. But you and me both. Yeah, you good.
But that's all the games from this week, man. Real quick, Willie Jack, who was actually your performer of the week, man? Give me your performer of the week from this past week, man. Who you got?
No, I'm going to Amari Cooper, man. 11 for 265 and 2 tubs. I think the second player in NFL history to have 200 yards and 2 touchdowns for like 3 different teams. T.O. was the only other player to ever have that style of production for 3 different franchises. And so, select company right there. But no, I think I'm going to Amari Cooper, man. He's still somewhere running wide open, man, in the back of the Houston end zone.
For sure. And actually, for the first time, I'm gonna ride with you too, man. That's a big game from Amari Cooper, man. Yeah. Breaks that franchise record, man, and just he just dismantled that team, man. And this particular game, just open on all different parts of the field, from deep, intermediate, short. He just did what he wanted to do against the secondary. So, man, good game for Amari Cooper. He is also my performer of the week, Willie Jack.
And you know what, man? Just a real quick honorable mention from a Saturday game with my dad. Hey, George Pickens went 4 for 195 and 2 touchdowns. Just in case somebody forgot.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
Just in case somebody forgot.
He did, dog.
195 and 2 of them things. That's all. You know what I'm saying? That's it.
I'm with you, Willie Jack. I'm with you. All right, man. Let's go on to the Thursday night game. And we got a Thursday night game, and we got a one Saturday game, and we ain't got as many previews this week, man. So let's go ahead and jump into the Thursday night game. We got the Jets going to Cleveland to take on the Browns Thursday night. Who you got? I got a feeling who you got, but go ahead and talk to me anyway.
No, I got you. And I'm gonna get easy, rapid fire, man. I'm taking Cleveland in the Joe Flacco show at home, man. And I do want to see with Joe Flacco and Amari Cooper what they do with this Jets defense, but I'm not gonna lie, man. The way they do the ball, I definitely is still. I'm going 27-13. I'm going 27-13. I think that Browns defense will impale on Simeon, who not going to matter too much. And I think Joe Flacco and Amari Cooper, what they just got going on, I think it's still going to be a tall, just secondary.
Gotcha. I got the Browns at home too, Willie Jack, but I got 24-13. I like you said, I think the defense is going to be a little bit too much. But I do want. One thing I saw in this offense, they wanted to make sure they give Breece Hall the ball. And when Breece Hall is on, man, he's special. And that's why I honestly feel like if they can get some things together around him, get that offensive line together, and actually get him a passing game that can be respectable, and that doesn't allow them to, get stuck in that situation. I think that Breece Hall can be special, man. He can be a top 5 back in this league for sure. So I still got the Browns. And like I said, I got them 24-13. I think they come with this win. They're just gonna be too much for the Jets. The Jets are they don't have much as of right now. So give me the Browns at home in this game too.
No, and then real quick, man, a baby revenge game for Joe Flacco, man, who was on. Remember those Jets last? So yeah, he gets to play. I guess his former team he was with last year. So I'm sure he excited. He'll be excited to light them boys up if he chance.
All right, got you there. Well, all right, Willie Jack, talk to me now, dog. We got the Detroit Lions going to Dallas to take on the Cowboys. This could be a good one right here, Willie. This could be a good one, dog. And I think it's on me, so I ain't gonna even do that. I ain't gonna make you go first. So I'm gonna go first, and I'm going Dallas at home, man. I'm going Dallas at home in this game. The Detroit Lions coming off of the division win. I know they're happy, they're excited. You know what I'm saying? And I know they have a chance to get the number 1 seed. So this game is going to have a lot of implications. The loser of this game, I don't think has the chance. the loser of this game, of course, loses out on winning or getting a chance to get their number 1 seed. I think if the Cowboys lose this game, they not only lose a chance of getting number 1 seed, but they also lose out on this division too. I think they take a step back there if they lose this game. So I think this is more of a game that the Cowboys need and are hungry for than the actual Lions, in my opinion. Because like I said, Lions already got the division matched up, and I think the Cowboys, I think they match up a little bit better against the Lions. I do think this could be a game where they putting up a few points. So give me 31 to 27. Cowboys win this game at home against the Detroit Lions. Detroit Lions put up a few points, but it won't be enough.
Yeah, this is a tough one, man. These are the two teams that I still just can't fully just get on board. My heart's telling me the Lions, but my head's kind of telling me the Cowboys, man. I think the Lions in this game, I think they have a chance if they can really get behind that run game. If Jamar Gibbs and David Montgomery seen this Cowboys defense be vulnerable against explosive run games, well, of late, James Cook ran route on these boys. The nation of Jamar Gibbs and David Montgomery makes me think that they have an avenue for success there. But man, Gilly matching up with Gilly and Deron Bland taking turns matching up with St. Brown. I think they can kind of handle that test between the two of them. I do want to see that Penei Sewell match up against Micah Parsons. That's going to be some fireworks. I can't wait to really check that out. But I just think like you. I think the matchups are easier for the Cowboys side going against the Lions versus the other way around. And the Cowboys are at home, and I think you hit the nail on the head. The Cowboys need this one a little bit more. The Lions just coming off of a big win, 30-year celebration. Everybody's kissing your ass and you hugging babies. So you know what I mean. And I think that the Cowboys are a little hungrier just right now. So I'll give them the edge. I'll go Dallas 28, Detroit 27. I think this is gonna be. I think this one's gonna be hard fight to the wire. And like I said, I think the Lions in that run game can really be crucial in this one. But yeah, I'll go with the slimmest of margins. I'll get the Cowboys the edge at home.
Gotcha. All right, Willie Jack. Well, before we get out of here, man, I need you to give me a game ball winner, man. Who gets the game ball? And then after that, man, Willie Jack, you can go ahead and wrap us on up, big dog.
Oh yeah, no, and you know what, man? We apologize again, man. We for going a little late to the but bringing home the show, man. As always, man. Come on, man. Y'all know him and you love him. Our dog, man, Zach, baby, Zach, the next ZB. Welcome to the stage, big dog. There you go, man. Pass. At work tomorrow, and yeah, man, we appreciate it always, man. And then shout out to the members, man. You know y'all was in the building, man. Shout out to my dog, No Balls, No Glory, man. I appreciate y'all for in the chat last night. I try to keep them on their toes, boy. I was rapid fire on them boys last night. Your boy Jay was in this thing as well. Shout out to you. If you my dog, Chop homeboy, that mean you my homeboy too, boy. Bam was in the thing, man. Day One Gang Jarrell was in this thing. Other than that, y'all know what's going on, man. We're gonna get out of here real quick and easy. If I forgot to say your name, damn, my bad. Charge it to my head. Don't charge it to my heart. You know we think about you. We appreciate our love, support. And like I said, man, me and Chop, we looked ourselves in the mirror and we're gonna tighten up, man. We ain't gonna keep y'all up late. I got the wife and kids waiting on y'all, man. So we tighten up and be better for y'all going forward for sure.
But it's hard because we don't want no watches.
Hey, we don't wear no watches. More than 10 o'clock. Peace.